Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are back with another beautiful stream, and this is welcome to. This is actually the Zotac Cup of Player Unknown's Battleground to be precise, and it is powered by Zotac RTX 4070. Our broadcasting partner is Loco. We have teams coming from Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Indeed. Well, the qualifiers Group 1 is already done. Now we are going to start for the day with qualifiers Group number 2. My name is Jada. Along with me is Baba Gusa on desk. Well, how are you, Baba Gusa?
Well, I'm doing absolutely great, Raider, and I gotta admit, Group B qualifiers is going to be an amazing one to look at, especially for players announced battlegrounds. Five maps back to back, and I seriously cannot wait to see this big international tournament happening right now. Let's take a look at the tournament format itself and talk about the entire schedule for this season. We have a total of 32 teams across two
Mm-hmm.
qualifiers, 16 teams in each qualifiers. We already had our first qualifiers already in our previous day. Now we are heading on to the second qualifiers. Only 16 teams will be currently fighting for the number one spot, and they have to fight for 2 days because usually it's the qualifiers. We already have our Group A qualifiers, and now we're going to talk about the second qualifiers, which is going to happen right now.
Yeah. Ooh, the next 3 days are going to be full of joys and eventually chaoses as well, because the next 3 days are going to be filled with 15 maps, I believe. And in these 15 matches, we'll get to see who are the teams getting qualified for the next phase, and that is the grand finals, which is going to happen on 24th and 25th May. So those 2 days are going to be very crucial. We have the prize pool split, we have the points distribution as well, many things to talk about. But then again, guys, make sure to like, share, and subscribe as well. Well, let's talk about the prize pool first of all, the things which are known as the stakes of this tournament, and the prize pool is massive, 5,000 US dollars to be precise. The first position, the champion, is going to get $3,000. When it comes to the runner-up position, that is $1,500. The third place is going to get $500 to be precise. Well, not just the first three positions are going to get cherished with something. Well, we have 4 to 8 positions as well, which are going to get some amounts of G coins. That is the in-game currency of Player Unknown's Battlegrounds. So, if we talk about the fourth place, that is, I believe, 10,000 G coins being distributed between the four players that are going to be there. And same goes for fifth position, where we have 8,000 G coins. For sixth position, we have somewhere around, I believe, 6,000 G coins. And for the seventh position, 4,000 G coins. And for the eighth positions, 2,000 G coins. So this is the price pool split. This is the price pool background, which is actually going to motivate a lot of players at this point. And we already have seen some amazing exceptional performance coming from the Group 1, or should I say Qualifiers 1. Moving forward to Group B, we have to see which are those particular teams. So there you go. The teams are coming in front of us.
Yep, there you go. The second qualifiers for today's teams. Here we are. Here it is on our screens. Digital Athletics, the Fort Terrorist, 1453 Esports, Full Auto, ATE Unity Esports, Brotherhood, Team Elite, Team Threats, Gobus, Hivex, Pro, Nocturnals, Immortals, Pacific Esports, 13 Delay, and of course, last but not the least, who are they? Will be our total 16 teams currently fighting for the
Yeah.
spot to make sure to head on in towards the grand finals. There's only 16 spots left, and I'm pretty sure in this Group B qualifiers, we're going to have a lot of battle happening in this play.
Yeah, indeed, the battle will be there for sure, because we have an amazing number of teams. 16 teams are there. 64 players are going to join in the lobby. The map is of 8 by 8 kilometers, so definitely the chaos is going to be there. It's all about when is that chaos going to start. Is it going to be an initial clash, or is it going to be a delayed push in the last few circles? But first of all, let's talk about the point distribution system, which has been creating its own buzz. The first position is going to get 10 points. That means the 10 placement points are going to be credited for them. Second position is going to get 6, third position going to get 5, fourth position 4, fifth position 3 points, sixth position 2 points, and seventh and eighth positions are going to get 1 points each. For 9 to 16 teams, nothing for them, to be honest. And every single elimination is going to get a team 1 point, which is obviously going to boost up a lot of situations for teams. In the qualifiers one, I did saw a few teams going aggressive, because we know currently going to the top 3 out of the 16 teams is going to be a bit difficult task. But if you are aggressive, if you know how to get those frags, you can easily rack up some serious points while getting those frags and eliminations, I mean.
Yeah, but long story short, it's best to secure first place because that's the maximum points that you could ever get. But also, getting more kills is exactly what the teams require too in order to stay in the highest position possible. Let's take a look at the matches for today, as we have both Erangel and Miramar being played on all five matches. The only difference is it'll just keep changing every single matchup. Match one we have Erangel, match two Miramar, match 3 Wrangle, 4 Miramar, and of course 5 will be Wrangle once again. So 3 Wrangle matchups and 2 Miramar. And I seriously cannot wait what match one will have in stores for us, especially Wrangle, which is considered to be one of the most OG maps of Players Unknown's
Yeah.
Battlegrounds.
Indeed, every in the enthusiast who has actually ever played PUBG, this is the first map that you
Hmm.
get, Wrangle. So definitely that map is actually going to be full of quite a few beautiful insights for those players which are going to join in the lobby, because every nook and corner that is there in the map has already been readied up, and they have their strategies to play with. They have their own sweet locations to drop in, but eventually this is the first map, this is the first match, this is the first day where these teams are going to face each other. So things might be a bit more clashy. I believe there might be some more drop clashes come into the play. The players might be in a tug of war. I have to see how those situations are going to get carried away. Is there going to be an initial drop clash or maybe some initial fights as well? Players are going to go for the vehicles or maybe for the loots. I mean, the flight path and the play zone is also going to decide a lot of stuff. If the flight path is completely on a different side and the play zone is going to be on a very different side, then I believe the chase is going to be mesmerizing for us to watch as an audience.
Yep, the RNG plays a maximum role in the game of Players Unknown's Battlegrounds, and although the loot and every single thing is still almost the same, there will be some minor changes, especially on the map like Erangel. I'm pretty sure that there will be maximum contestants being made on map Georgia Pool or maybe on Yasna Poliana. Those specific spots are the highest place where you can get a lot of loot places, but it's also better to make sure that you can have the higher chances of survival as well. So for now, we just have to wait and watch and see what kind of places do we have to go. We still have to determine whether which circles would favor for which team, and also just like you said, Raider, the flight path points to determine exactly which is the best spot for the teams to secure, and also make sure to put themselves on the top of the leaderboards as best as possible.
It's really important to have that domination from the start. Eventually, if the teams are having that domination, making that pressure onto the other 15 teams, it is actually going to help them a lot. But all in all, the cinematic perspectives of the angle is already here. And look at that, the map, the match is about to get started. We have military base in front of us. We had Kuchinki at the side. But yes, the flight is on the way, and it is starting from the southern eastern end, southern western end to be precise, and it is going towards the northern area. I believe that is going to be Severny, which is quite interesting as well. The southern islands of Sosnoka military base is going to get considered. Have to see which team is going to jump in that vicinity, because that's one of the favorite places that I love to jump in, other than Georgipol, I believe. But then Prismok is also there. I guess two or three teams are approaching the Prismok region, so there might be a clash between these teams.
Yeah, but also Pochinki and Rozok is still opened up, but you still have to consider whether if we would expect to see a quick battle in the phase one itself. Usually, you'd go in for the loot phase from the beginning and make sure you have every single utilities so that you can have maximum amount of survival in the next future phases. But looks like most of the players have already been going in towards Primorsk. Interestingly enough, there's actually three teams currently being landed in towards Primorsk. Some teams currently in nearby Sosna military base, but mainly currently being used to get some vehicles so that they can have faster access in towards the place, get the loot off, and then we just have to wait and see which of that circle lead us on to. Currently, as you can see from the other screen, Team Elite has already dropped down. I'm pretty sure that he will make sure to get all the loot that he's required to survive. Oh boy.
Oh, already getting tagged up. Look at that. This is the kind of drop clash I was excited to watch, and indeed, we are getting some beautiful drop clashes while the teams are jumping. Elite is definitely getting tagged up by some of the players in the close vicinity. This is the Rozok region, if I'm not wrong, where the fights are happening, and definitely have to see how the other team is also going to compensate. Meanwhile, coming back to the fact that the clashes are also there in the school aparts region. Along with that, the water city is also crowded with the players, and there are some players which are approaching the hospital region, which might just help them a lot, because look at the play zone. It is actually there on the western flanks of the map, which might help those teams which are already in the zone and already approaching for those zone locations, which in turn help them to secure a beautiful chicken dinner. This is day number one. Match number one in Wrangle. Phase one is already on its move. In about 3 minutes, the zone is going to get start and going to get stringed up. Make sure to guys actually go for the RTX 4070s as well. You can already check out all the details in the description, the stores, location, and stuff like that. And one more thing, guys, if you are actually purchasing a Zotac RTX 4070, go ahead and register it on the Zotac's official site so that you can get an extended warranty of more than I guess 3 years. You can get the 5-year warranty as well out of it.
Yep, make sure to check it out, folks. Link is in the description below. But now, let us now focus in towards the game, especially on Rozok. There's a lot of fights happening around here with Deadly being knocked out. And Cobra needs to find another way to make sure that he is completely safe. Not quite sure that he has exactly seen BHP's location, but he'll still be safe. But looks like, on the other hand, this is not looking good for Team Elite. They've already have one player down, but they haven't got the confirmation of the kill. So they're going to do exactly that. Kuwait is already heading in towards the building, and Cobra needs to figure out another way to at least provide some suppressive fire, but turns out that is not going to happen. Erling starts things off. First blood it is, and there goes TTV Deadly with Elite losing one of their players.
A big loss indeed in the initial circle. If you lose your players in the later circles, you are actually going to have a tough time while rotating and eventually finding a safe haven for the team. So that's exactly what Elite might suffer with. On the hindsight, when it comes to D, having fragged that early will obviously bump their positions. But look at that. Beautiful flank coming in from Dead, and eventually he was able to take down Lyron. With that, Erling is actually at the contest. Youth is there on the back end. We have to see how BHP is going to perform. Oh, a beautiful 1v1. With that AKM, he was able to take down Dead Ayong. Complete elimination is going to be there for them. They have secured two amazing eliminations. This is Digital Athletics, which is actually performing quite well when it comes to their close quarter combat. Other than that, I believe the team which is there on the hindsight, that is Elite, is quite good when it comes to the element of surprise. Elite Kabooms also gets taken down. That means Elite is going to suffer big time at this moment. The way they're performing, Cobra now becomes the last one standing. It feels like that. He's going to get cornered. Some utilities are being used up at this moment. Og is there in the hand, and with that M16 tap shot along with the 6-6, the damage was fatal indeed. Cobra, oh, he had an idea. He had an idea. Now with that AKM and 4x, he's going to shut the player down. That was a bad one. Indeed, Youth just got eliminated with his own nade.
Yep, that has got to be so unfortunate. And here comes Erling. My God, the shotgun shots and the confirmation on the kill will make sure to eliminate the final player, Cobra, which means the team as we will witness our first squad wipe, and unfortunately it will be Elite. Digital Athletes will have one of their players who had been knocked out, which means that they still need to make do with 3 more players. So already on the bright side, you could say that Digital Athletics has already confirmed 4 points in their table here, Raiders. So looks like they are looking well in the phase 1, and also the entire Rozok is completely in their control.
When you have a contestment like that, you definitely have to clear the enemy territory and eventually just have the whole ruling formation in your favor, and that's exactly what Digital Athletics did. Right now, having those frags is actually going to motivate them a lot to get many more frags in the later stages, but till then, I guess for approximately 20 minutes marker, they can easily just chill out and do the rotations, move zone to zone, and just be a little bit more passive. If they go aggressive, things can backfire, because we have seen that thing happening where a team goes way too aggressive and just gets shut down from multiple angles, because the third parties are also a big part of this game. Close top US coming into the perspective for 13 delay. Virus VS4 is here right now. He's going to pick up his teammates so that the rotations might be a bit more easier for them, because yes, they are a bit more far away from the zone, and they have to reach out to the particular play zone so that they can just create a stronghold in it and maybe gatekeep some other teams. In Miramar, we will see a lot of H2H fights coming into the play, zone to zone H2H fights coming into the play. But in Erangel, you have multiple compounds, and that too in a zone which is on the western side. I believe you can easily have the advantage of some amazing compounds in your favor. So that's what I guess multiple teams are trying to do. They're trying to have the advantage of the compounds so that they can make a stronghold and eventually gatekeep every other team which is going to rotate, or also get the visual cues or get the informations for the later fights.
Yeah. Now, since first phase is already coming to an end, you still got to know that the whole circle revolves around Jojapul, Gatka, and also the higher top of the mountains, where you could have the high ground potential and maybe try to dish out some of the most important players out, both in the same place. So everything is looking good. Also, as we take a look at GB's end, all 4 players are already trying to traverse towards the safe zone, and KT will try to at least give some information, hoping that he would tag at least 1 or 2 players. But at this point, he is currently trying to find a way or two. Once again, lots of damage being dealt around from the side of T4T. They're just giving away a lot of noises, but still, they will be safe. Who are they on the other hand? They're just trying to figure out a way to try to pick out these players one by one. but it always relies on who gets the first headshot. GB, on the other hand, just traversing through the place, safe place, as they reach their inner circle. I'm pretty sure that the rest of the team will also do the same thing, trying to find a safe place and also trying to gain high ground potential so that they'll be able to provide information and also clearance on some of the other places too.
I mean, whenever we talk about a battle royale game, definitely having the ridge advantage, definitely having the height advantage is going to cut a lot of perspectives in the favor of that particular team. But look at that, this guy with the Mini 14 and a beautiful 8x scope is actually quite chaotic. He's trying to punch down the players coming from the other end, that is T40. But obviously, having the advantage of Hospital might not just help him a lot. On the other corner, if we talk about Bro, many USs, many Dacias are actually at question 1453's place, are trying to put some good space onto them so that the rotation is actually going to get obstacled. And look at that, Twitch M4 is already getting picked up a lot. His HP is falling short to 45%, I believe, but still he's going to rotate from the back end areas of Rozok, and that rotation might just help him at this point. Other than that, digital athletics, Erling is also there in the close vicinity, so he might also try to land some shots onto the guys of Bro who are trying to rotate. Yummy is there, we have got Wolf, we have got Bench. Everybody is just trying to rotate in their own vicinity. They're trying to create a beautiful location. And yes, irrespective of the formulation, I believe I would love to see this kind of play coming from every single team. Having multiple vehicles is obviously going to give you the artificial cover if you are actually caught off guard in an open scenario, and also help you a lot while rotating.
Yeah, absolutely, Raider. Having a weapon that sorry, having a vehicle that can help you provide not only just the cover but also traversing from one place to the other definitely helps. And once again, as we take a look at Groans' perspective, still engaging in a gunfight up against T40, the 8x scope definitely gives good line of sight. But the more bullets you try to waste, definitely that's going to cause a lot of problems in the nearby future. But nonetheless, if you take a look at the kill feed, looks like PE has successfully wiped out one of the team. So turns out we only have 15 teams left. Bro, on the other hand, they're still trying to survey
Oh.
the places. And like I said, Pacific Esports, they're looking to, make sure to have good control on their specific position. Twitch, Bro, on the other hand, I believe they have found out one of the players, so they're just gonna play it safe this time. My goodness, already 14 teams left. And you could feel the tension that's going to happen on phase two, because this is exactly where most of the players would just try to catch off players, where one of the teams would just usually, try to be in a safe place and then, gets caught out by surprise. I believe Pacific Esports, once again, I believe they will try to do exactly that.
Yeah, that can actually happen, but eventually we have to consider the fact that we still have 7 more zones to go. So there might not be some more fights coming into the play, but look at that beautiful tracing coming from this guy. 8 Unity Esports' Modstret was actually quite aggressive, and he was able to trace down the player. And with that, 8 has got 2 amazing eliminations, and Furler is now getting connected from the back end with the Mini 14s. So this might not be helpful for them. MK12 is the gun whose I guess through which he was able to just eliminate the player. But look at that, immense amount of damage there on Ferlet, and his vest is already getting damaged a lot. 70% of the vest is actually there, but eventually that impact might not leave him that unscathed. So he has to heal himself, he has to boost himself, and then be ready with some other fights. And yeah, after looting the enemy's crate, he has already secured level 2 vest for himself, which is obviously going to help him in the later stages whenever the fight comes in. But until then, Beryl is the gun that he is going to choose along with an MK12. Both of the guns are going to utilize the 7.62 MOs, which are comparatively a bit more chaotic, bit more hefty when we compare these MOs to 0.45 ACP or 9 or maybe 5.56, which is again assaulting MO. Overlord on the other corner takes one down from Hivex. GB Kukachin has been taken down by Emo's Immortal. That's quite impressive. Immortal is looking good. They are actually having multiple frags at this point. I would love to see what their POI is doing. Digital Athletics on the other corner is already losing youth. That's interesting. One of their top fraggers is already done and dusted, and they are fighting in the ruins region where they have the advantage of having the church in their favor, but still, not a lot of advantage might be there. Through the ridges, Digital Athletics is trying to fight back, but look at that. He was for a second in a very open space. He could have been taken down, but eventually he is still going to just retaliate and be back in the vicinity, trying to survive, trying to safeguard himself.
Yeah, looks like Overlord unfortunately gets downed and also gets confirmed by Nocturnals. An important kill it is, which means that there's only 3 players left. And Abulmir and Hamdar needs to worry about some certain situation. Once again, Immortals definitely not looking good. 2 players down already. And now it's just 2 players left from Vaduz and from Immortals to see whether they can hold the ground out up against Unity Esports. This high ground potential could cause a lot of dangers, and Digital Athletics once again playing in a very close quarter combat. BHP cooking a nade, seeing whether if that works, seeing whether if he could catch a player or two, and maybe here comes the push out. One of them has already been down dodged. This is huge. Coming in from BHP, Digital Athletics, second nade goes in for the spin, and he gets the shot, hip fires in, but no, he fails it. Here comes the second. One saves his teammate, secures 2 kills. But there is still one more. Digital Athletics, such great performance you see, even with one of the player being downed out, just making good use of it. In just 3, it's just looking so well. But Led, on the other hand, just commits for a full-on spray. He knows that Digital Athletics are already outside the play point, and looks like Immortals will get eliminated too. Unity Esports looking very strong, and also they'll be able to get some good items from their own opponents.
Yeah, definitely scavenging those loots are going to be really very crucial, because in the next few circles you won't be able to loot as many compounds that you are looting right now. But look at that, Mohsin Nagad, a very beautiful sniper bolt action gun coming into the use, but eventually that damage is not optimum of this particular gun. You should actually go for an M24 or maybe a Kar 98K if you are going to get that, because it utilizes a similar amount of ammo and also the similar type of ammo, but then again the damage is exponentially high. Sniper on the other corner from 13D was able to take one player down. Digital Athletics, despite of having that chaotic performance where they were able to secure another squad in the favor, is now suffering a lot. Lyron has been taken down. Youth has been picked off. It's 999 BHP and Erlin which are surviving. And on the Georgiapur Hills, I believe there is another set of fight coming in. Players are tagging each other. Players are trying to shut them down. And look at that. In the church, the remaining 2 players from 13D are surviving. They know that there are enemies in this particular house where their other 2 mortal teammates were actually surviving. At the same time, they are not going to overextend it. I guess the push should not be there because it's a 2v2 fight. But then again, Digital Athletics have got the defensive POI. So that is why this particular team is actually at a favorable angle. And look at that. They're already pushing the players from the back end. There might be some other push coming in. Mini 14 in the hand along with the electric scope. That definitely is a very good situation for the guys. But let's see how far will they be able to go, because the third zone is about to get compromised in just 1 minute. And after that, 4 zone marker will come in. And at that point, I love to add on, things will get just serious.
Yeah, definitely will be, but still the action is still going on. Right from the place, Digital Athletics is going on right now. So only 2 players left, and I'm pretty sure that once Erling Haaland do gets to get caught off in a very difficult position, because they might get third partied out of nowhere. Snipe Paul, not quite sure if it's a good idea to cook in for a nade. It's best to go in and heal himself up. But there's a lot of pressures being laid on from both the sides, especially from Digital Athletics' end and also from the side of FA. So currently, Snipe Paul and Desai, both of them are not looking good when it comes to their cover locations. So they're trying as best as they can, trying to use their utilities. A lot of frag grenades has been thrown right towards the stone side, hoping they could catch a player or two. Meanwhile, as we take a look at Escapation, Smoke's being tossed out, hoping that he'll be able to get some good lines of sight. He also has a vehicle as well to head in and find that good position as best as possible. Grown, good damage, but still the Smokes was just trying to throw a smoke to to try to get in towards his vehicle and get away to safety. But unfortunately, he had to spike out the tires. Doesn't want to live TT in towards that position, and Grown will miss a lot of shots. And at least on the bright side, he'll be able to pick up his teammate. So Grown, on the other hand, is just providing a lot of damage. But still, on the other hand, he's getting himself picked up as well. So he's got to be very careful.
Yeah, right now, I mean, creating so much buzz is obviously going to backfire a lot, and that's how other teams in the vicinity are also trying to take up a shot from wherever the shots are coming in or wherever the noise is coming from. That is why the players from Hua, they have to be a bit more, I guess, cautious about the fact that there are some more players in the close by vicinities. Tasya is here so that they can actually be ready for the rotations. Oh, but before that, look at the tag coming in. NOC on the other corner, Nocturnals to be precise. That is the team's own noob. Noob to be precise has been tagged up quite a bit. Abdul Mir is surviving, Hamdar is surviving, Salo is still surviving. Oh, Snipeball is there, but look at that. Another chase coming from Digital Athletics. What a beautiful showdown of skills. The peaks, the hip fires, the ADS was absolutely amazing. The last man standing is going to be Sam Onyx. Will he be able to do damage with the Beryl? I doubt it. Beryl is a very good weapon when it comes to the close range. And yes, he's now in the very close range vicinity. The other guy, which is knocked up, is obviously going to give a lot of insight where the enemy is. And with that help, there might be a situation where Simon X is just completely going to shut down this particular guy. Although Erling has secured his second point, I believe. Second frag is going to be there for sure. Some more needs are getting thrown up at the same location where the other guy was, but still, not a useful amount of damage was there. Team Gobus on the other corner has actually been eliminated out of the lobby for now. Oh, and that
Okay, what
need.
a nade. What a nade from Erlinghand. And look at that. Digital Athletics are just going ham right now. 8 kills in the first match itself. Can you imagine that, Trader? 8 kills already. Imagine if Digital Athletics
Yeah.
do get to end up winning their first match itself. That is going to be huge for them. Turns out Nocturnals will be spawned back into the map, and they'll see whether if they can hold their ground once again. But this is going to be a tough one though, because they don't have any weaponry, and they're just going to give away the locations very quickly. And Digital Athletics, oh man, they are not going to let any single player from Nocturnals get away with anything. My god, the same thing can also be said for Full Order too. That is just quite unfortunate for Nocturnals. 11 teams remain as we proceed to phase number 4. Actually, it's going to be phase number 5 after 20 seconds. So for Lotto, it's best to head in
Mhm.
towards the circle as quick as possible. But I'm pretty sure that they want to remove the players off first, especially from AT's end. A lot of damage being dealt around. He's been
Oh.
downed out from outside the circle. He'll be safe for now. Digital Athletics, 10 kills already in the first map. This team's doing absolutely amazing with just only 2 players left. From the side of Digital Athletics, 11 teams remain, and Phase 5 is on the road.
He's not going to survive. And yes, exactly that's what happened. Has been taken down with a beautiful M24 shot. It was absolutely impressive. Well, if we talk about Nocturnal, see, the thing is that they had the opportunity to use the parachute, which was absolutely impressive. What happens that when you actually ignite that particular parachute, a plane comes in, it takes you in the zone, and that's exactly what Nocturnals tried to do. But eventually, they had the guns, they had the vicinity, they had every single loot that they were able to acquire in the previous fight. But at the end, while you're dropping, you are pretty much off guard. You don't have any defensive cover, you don't have anything in your hand, and that too while you're dropping in the fifth zone. It's a very small circle, and there are multiple teams surviving. So definitely, Nocturnals had to go out of the equation, and that's exactly what happened. But right now, this Turkish giant known as Digital Athletics is looking way too good. Six frag per 999 BHP, three for Erlingham, and I believe there are going to be some more numbers getting added up at this particular marker. They have to be cautious. See, the fact is, if you have the balance between chicken dinner, if you have the balance between placement points and the kill points, it will be absolutely mesmerizing for them. But yeah, look at that. They're still trying to hunt the players, but if they attack on Bro, we have to remember that they have 4-man power. So that might just be the downfall of Team Digital Athletics.
Yeah, the only option for Digital Athletics is try to engage in a third-party system. And looks like Team Threats are just going to go in for the aggressive. Ivex, on the other hand, making some major damage, and Team Threats are trying to hold their ground. Once again, we see Unity Esports, 10 kills from this team as well. Bro Twitch, on the other hand, just major damage towards front as well. As phase 5, you're going to see a lot of teams entering in towards this vicinity, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of gunfights happening right across the corner. Team Threats not really in a good position. You can see a lot of players being downed out, but still not a kill just yet. Fury's still alive. Grown, on the other hand, just dealt major damage as well from Team Watt. And now from the side of Team Bro, they're not looking too good, because let's just say that Digital Athletics are also doing their own major damage too. So Spicy Yaka has already been downed out. So there's only 2 players left. Pretty sure that these 8 teams
Uh,
remaining will do some major damage around Team Threats. They're still alive. 3F06 hoping to hold his ground as best as possible, but he's the only man left. C4 and Spicy Yaka, both of them are already down, so you know that they're trying their best efforts to head in towards the building, but it's too tough.
Well, they are actually beyond the bridge. They are trying to survive, and CB4Z is just waiting for a revival to come in. And yeah, there we go. The revival will be there. It will take 9 seconds, and these are very crucial 9 seconds because the next zone is going to get formed up, and that will be the zone number five, zone number six to be precise. That's phase six. And in 59 seconds, that phase six is also going to move. So definitely, these teams have to make a move and be in the zone at this point. If we're talking about digital athletics, they are looking good. But that nade man coming from who are they was absolutely amazing. Look at that. Ground now have the idea that there is a player because he was able to knock out one of them and there is still the team surviving, so he has an idea that there is going to be some more players in the vicinity, and that's it. He was able to spot the guy. Revival was there, but unfortunately not enough for the player to survive with. PT might not survive because they have to travel through the water body, then eventually come up in the zone, and that could be it. They are going to get eliminated at sixth position. It really seems like that at this point. But eventually, if they are going to get eliminated at the sixth position, they are going to get 2 placement points, and whatever the number of kills that was there is also going to get added up. For team, who are they? The start was not good, but currently they have found their own sync. They are surviving. They have their own angles to fight with. Pretty soon the zone is going to take a rapid shift, and then they have to rotate, then they have to survive, then they have to change some angles, and at that moment Hyvix could actually have the advantage of just getting the X factor and getting the element of surprise and maybe backstabbing the team. Oh, that's again is happening.
Wow.
It was a really good shot. Katie tried his level best to just come up with some good snipe action shots, but eventually it's not that easy.
Yeah, it definitely isn't. And the same thing can also be said
Oh,
for digital athletics. Amazing performance. And currently they will secure top 5. But who are they on the other hand? Currently trying to engage a gunfight against Bluffits, who is currently needs to deal with a 1v2 situation. Grown once again trying to contest many players on those long range angle, but at this point, they just have to hold their ground. Not a lot of tensions left, but for T40, they're the only ones who have control on high ground potential, and also the circle could be in their hands. At this point, Bluffis needs to be very careful on his peaks because one single shot to the head could cause major devastation problems, or should I say, that could be the end of his run for match number 1. At this point, you could see that there's already fights happening between PE and T4T, and Grom wants to take a shot at this. Smoke's been tossed out so that he could sprint in towards the line of sight as best as possible. Engages
uh,
before T4T. Celtic, lot of shots being made
wow.
around, but he will secure one. The second from the Mini 14.
Ooh,
Beautiful 2 taps. He finds the third and the fourth player, Chakush. He's definitely out in the open. He needs to find some good amount of cover. It's going to be a tough one, but at least on the bright side, he will get one. Mini 14, Celtic. What
what?
is that? What are those damage? Noxy is going in for the sprint. Can he find those 2 players? It's going to be a tough one. He's playing in. He's nearby in the vicinity. He
Wow.
finds one. He gets a second. Yes, he
Wow.
does. 4 terrorists has been eliminated, and Pacific Esports are rushed to get control. They finally get it, and now they have information on both the teams of Hyvix and Watt.
Those stabs coming from Celtic was so amazing. Eventually, nobody from the other guy, from the other team particularly, was able to peek onto the shots, and that's exactly how Noxy was able to get the upper hand out of this particular fight. So, all in all, definitely a commendable job coming from Pacific Esports, and now they just have to secure the chicken dinner, which is actually served on a platter for them. Yeah, there we go. Hyvex is trying to rotate. He's outside the zone. He won't be able to come into the particular zone because, yeah, the players coming from Pacific Esports are just not going to let it go. Ground on the other corner with a bare minimum HP is also lurking in the shadow. He's trying to go for the second placement points. If that is going to be the case, they will get 6 placement points. And even if they are going to get eliminated, right? Ooh, what is happening? Noxy again with a very beautiful tap shot. It's really impressive to see these giants slaying each other with those tap shots. But who are they has been eliminated. It's Pacific Esports who is going to get the highest advantage out of it. But on the other corner, Bluffist also secures 1 frag. Bluffist now have to be in the zone, already getting spotted. Tap shots coming to the play, and that's it. The chicken dinner is here. The first match of an angle from this particular qualifier number 2 is already done. The winner of the chicken dinner falls in the hands of a very beautiful team known as Pacific Esports. I believe they have somewhere around 23 points as a whole in this match standing. But yeah, a commendable job indeed coming from Pacific Esports. We were not expecting this kind of chaos because there was another team, Digital Athletics to be precise, which was also quite good. They also had somewhere around, I believe, 12 to 13 frags. But still, at the end, I would love to add on it's Pacific Esports, which was not just consistent in their frags, also consistent in their placement points. And that's the equation you have to travel with when you are fighting in this battle royale scenario. You have to take in consideration of the placement point and also be pretty much on the balancing situation for the kills as well. That's exactly what Pacific did. So I believe it is going to put some serious pressure on the other 15 teams that are there in the lobby.
Yeah, absolutely. What a performance from Pacific Esports. I'm pretty sure at the end they have secured almost around 10 to 11 kills, which would add a total of 20 from their end,
13.
knowing
Yeah.
that they've secured chicken dinner. So, yeah, 13 kills in total. And that is a greater points for them to start things off, especially on map Erangel, map number one. So map number two is exactly where we would have a lot of tensions, and that would be in towards Miramar. But for now, I just have to admit there's a lot of performance from Digital Athletics that I do have to talk about, even though they've lost one of the players, especially in phase one. For them to hang on to just only three players left and to try to secure top five position with just only two players left, they've made some substantial recovery in map Erangel, and I'm pretty sure that they would have a certain good hold. Maybe they would secure around third or fourth place, but all in all, an impressive performance from Digital Athletics. But there was also some particular positions where some of the teams would just usually try to camp in one particular positions to hold, try to get some picks or whatnot. And there was some certain position there were some certain teams where they would just use your vehicles as a mode of artificial cover to to move in from side to side. Although some of the strategies did work, the others quite not so much. In the end, it usually came down from the circle coming to an end. I believe phase 4 or phase 5 was the place where we had a lot of gunfights happening around that place. But what's more important is that the circle being landed in towards Georgia Pool, the player who were the teams who are currently in Georgia Pool were the ones who had maximum advantage when it comes to their weaponry, their utilities and whatnot, and also the control from themselves. So I'm pretty sure Pacific Esports may have to deal with that. Maybe Pacific Esports did dropped in from Georgia Pool first. Maybe it's just an assumption, but still, all in all, a great performance do we get to see here in Group B.
Definitely, the start of Group A is actually quite chaotic. If you compare it with the Group A, I mean qualify one, eventually the aggression was not there. But eventually, in this particular group, we have Digital Athletics, we have Pacific Esports. So there are a few teams which are quite aggressive, and I'm looking forward to see how they're going to perform in map of Miramar, because that's again a very chaotic map. But then again, you have to be ready with the third parties. The third parties are going to be immense after the third place zone. But yeah, we'll talk about that after a quick short break with the match standing. So till then, peace out. Well, as promised, indeed, we are back at the Zotac Cup of Player Unknown's Battleground, and we are in the qualifiers too, to be precise. First map is already done. Now, moving forward to the map of Miramar, we have quite a few things to talk about. So, first of all, let's talk about the match standings so that we can get an idea how the teams were performing and how the standings are actually impacted. Look at that Pacific Esports with 13 kills in their favor and 10 placement points for having the chicken. And that's obvious. 23 points in their favor. That's absolutely impressive. And despite of Digital Athletics getting eliminated at the fifth position, if I'm not wrong, they are still at the second position in the match-wise ranking. Reason being their kills. That is 14. That's huge. So we have to, I guess, consider the fact that there are three teams which are quite aggressive. That is 8 Unity Esports, Digital, and Pacific Esports. So have to see how these three teams are going to perform in the map of Miramar because that is the true challenge for an aggressive team.
Yeah, absolutely, Raider. Unity Esports, Hivex. Although on the last phase, I believe it was just only one player remained who was just trying to survive. But it was Pacific Esports who always they went in for a rushed attempt to make sure that from the four terraces, and they would not try to get that control of that circle as best as possible. So Pacific Esports, they have the right mind to be aggressive, and getting control on that crucial moment did ended up securing their first place, 10 points from that, and also from 14 kills in total, especially on the first match. So Pacific Esports will make sure to get their first match. But now, on the second match on Miramar, things could get even much more spicier, knowing that you have a lot of how can I call this? You have a lot of angles where most of the players would not get the good advantage out of it, but it just very much depends on how well you can get control on the certain match points, right?
Yeah, Miramar is full of ridges. Eventually, this is a map which has a lot of barren lands and not a lot of compounds to be precise. Well, Miramar is again a diversified map where you have the biggest ever compounded region that is there in the whole game. But then again, it is way too far away. That is the Los Unis region. That is the constructed region. And if you are outside the particular region, there are too many ridges. There are too many open spaces from which a good amount of shots can be landed onto you, and there is not a very often time of period where every now and then Los Unis is considered as a playable play zone. Because if the zone shift is there out of that particular vicinity, you are going to have a very tough time from rotating from Los Unis to the other location where the zone is. So definitely, there are many things to talk about when it comes to the map of Miramar. The vehicles are not going to be that much, I guess, dependable because they are easily going to get stuck in the ridges, maybe just topple down, and just a single spray of 40 bullets can easily burst out your vehicle. So there are many things which are going to be like creating a very adverse effect onto the particular teams. But then again, I guess it is a map. You have to have the advantage out of it, and there are going to be few teams which are exceptionally well in the map of Miramar. This is a part and parcel of the PUBG scenario where you have quite a few teams which perform exceptionally well in Wrangle and quite a few teams which perform exceptionally well in Miramar. There is another maps like Sanok. Again, there are a few teams which have their upper hands in that particular map. It's all about how you're going to play with it. And also, the map is of same dimensions, that is 8 by 8. But then Erangel is an island-based map, and this is a landmass-based map. Not a lot of water bodies are there in the map of Miramar, so that's again going to create a lot of ruckus while rotating. So yeah, very soon the match is going to get started, and all of a sudden we'll get to see a beautiful flight path. Is it going to be a centric one, or is it going to completely take a different shift? Maybe on a western side, maybe on a northern one, or an eastern one, or maybe in a southern shift. Have to see that as well. And after that, the play zone is actually the one thing which is going to create a lot of ruckus in the minds of IGLs.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure that on a map like Miramar, you're going to expect a lot of long-range gunfights. So expect a lot of, rifles such as Mosin Nagahand, Kar 98, and every single sniper rifle that you can ever afford for. So let's begin with match number two. Miramar has been opened up, so is the teams prepped and ready to drop down and go into their favorite place. Will it be Los Leones? Will it be El Pozo? We just have to wait and watch. The 16 teams currently, we could see that on map number one, it was Pacific Esports who had secured chicken dinner on map number one, Irangle. Now, Miramar, we just have to wait and watch where the drop is going from. And I'm pretty sure that it could go either from El Pozo or Monte Nuevo.
Next 30 minutes are going to be really very crucial for us to watch out that is it going to be a similar situation where one single team is going to dominate, or we might see some new faces coming to the play. If that happens, if some new faces are there, I would be more than happy because I really want to see that competition because we just have 15 maps, and out of those 15 maps we are actually at the second map, so definitely that diversification of the fights should be there. If I talk about the Monte region, I believe there are two teams going at the same location, so there is going to be a clash for sure, and I'm actually all for it. Team Threats is there. Along with that, some other team is also going to jump in the same vicinity, and also there is a fight close to the lab in the region. So have to see how Graveyard is also going to perform at that angle. But yeah, from 1453, there is already a beautiful micro Uzi shot coming in, and 8 Unities player Zelpu has been taken down, which is again quite impressive. Once again, guys, let me remind you, this is powered by Zotac RTX 4070. All the details will be in the description. Let's talk about the match. S12K in the hand. That's a very beautiful shotgun. It's not a pump action. That is why you can easily use it in the close quarter combats and have the advantage out of it. Some nades, some turbos being used up. Scar is coming to the play. Scarl is actually a very good gun with the 5.56 ammo in its favor. But then again, the recoil is bit high when you compare this to the M416. That's a conventional weapon that everybody loves to go with at A32. Again, a newer weapon as compared to M416 and Scarl. But then again, a weapon which can actually give you the upper hand.
Absolutely, but this grenade could be the make it or break it moment for the four terrorists to see whether if they could secure a kill or not. No downs will be made, only informations will be given for the opposite side, and that should be 13 delay. Hood on the other hand, jump peak, hoping to figure out to see whether if he can find a player or not. But this is a 2v1 situation. He's got to be very careful about it. Flashbangs being tossed around will block some major line of sight. And here comes the backup spin. It's currently too late because you still have players from 13D just holding their backs, making sure that they would figure out the rest of the three players coming in.
Ooh.
Shotguns! Shot in close range. Confirmation of the kills. No, he cannot. He just needs to reload his weapon. So he'll just use his car. 13 delays just holding their ground. And once again, it's Team Elite who will go down once again. Very unfortunate. It was the same thing that we did expected, not expected. We did get to witness in map number 1 Mirangle. Now on Miramar, turns out it's the same situation once again.
Fight for Team Elite to eventually bounce back in the overall standing, and that's going to demand a lot of shifts into their play. If we talk about the 40s, well, the last player, which is actually here right now, trying to survive, his angle has been revealed, his location has been revealed, and that's definitely going to create a lot of pressure onto him. That's exactly what happened. Sniper was able to create a beautiful flank, and with that flank, he was able to get the advantage out of it. And all of a sudden, as we were speculating that Miramar is going to be a bit more chaotic, a bit more aggressive, and that's exactly what we are getting at this point. We can clearly see two actually important teams have been eliminated in just a span of 3 minutes and 40 seconds. The match has just started, but eventually two teams are already back in the lobby trying to formulate the next strategy for the next map, which will be Erangel, if I'm not wrong. But other than that, Gobus, again, a very interesting team which also got eliminated in the top 8 scenario in the previous matchup, has to survive a bit more. They are in the MENA generalist area, which is again a very interesting area, but Team Threat has secured a beautiful location from which they can get the height advantage, from which they can actually back and forth revive their own teammates if they get knocked out. But on the hindsight, when the rotations comes in, I believe at that moment, Gobus is going to be the one fortunate team which is easily going to gatekeep them. Because look at that, from the left flank to the right flank, there is Gobus and Gobus and Gobus who are trying to gatekeep Team Threat. And on the other corner, look at that, the guns are ready, the utilities are there, and Digital Athletics have secured that parachute, which is actually going to help them to just straight up land in the playable area in the play zone, to be honest, and that's exactly where they're trying to go. Oh, the location where they're trying to approach, there is a team. Bomb Billy Bomb Bomb is actually going to be there. So let's see, is it going to be a situation where they are going to fight back, where they're going to retaliate with an enemy? Have to look into that fact. Look at that, just below Erlingham, there is a player. He's waiting. But eventually, when the parachute is going to get popped off, he will be getting the audio cues, and after that, we might just see a knockout coming into the play. But 8 unities per lead is also waiting from 1453's perspective. Sia Sank is also waiting with the guns in his hand, trying to dish out some damage. But Digital Athletics is fortunately going to survive with this daring move, to be honest, to dive in into an enemy territory. But now he has to come up with a 1v1. Billy Bomb is actually ready with the guns in his hand, trying to take up the painkiller so that he can boost up before the fights are going to be there, because those small amount of boosters might just save his life.
I mean, now as we see all the rest of the players from Hivex entering in towards the vicinity to provide necessary protections from his teams, Erlingham once again playing in a very aggressive position will definitely get caught off guard just like that. Lyron, on the other hand, will at least secure one of the players, but the same thing can also be said for Digital Athletics. They made impressive performance from Irangle. Once again, cooked Nate. Will that catch off Lyron? No, it does not. He will still stay alive. One of the players has still been dropped down, but now he will get confirmed from Wardeton. again, Hivex are looking very good. Just by hearing the parachutes, they will secure one of the important kills. Kuwait will be downed out. And looks like Hivex would be doing very good from their end. I think I spoke too soon because both of the players already been downed out, but not confirmed the kill just yet. So Laron has to be very careful because Boom Billy Boom Boom is here to save the day for Hivex, maybe or maybe not. But this cook nade might be able to help him a lot. Look at that, 3 grenades been tossed out. Laron still alive. But this peak, though, from Hivex, he's got to be very careful. Boom Billy definitely getting caught out from long range gunfights all the way. It's just so far away. My God. Ivex needs to fall back because this is a third party, so it's best to revive their teammates, make sure to be in a very safe place, heal themselves back up to full HP, and try to secure a safe spot. But DA, on the other hand, they're trying to eliminate those important players, and looks like 3 of the players from Hivex currently being playing in towards the building site would give them like a fake information for digital athletics saying that no one's in the building, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to take that bait just yet.
Yeah, the things might just change rapidly. Digital athletics have been punished a lot at this moment, and eventually, after seeing the performance in the previous matchup, I really expected a lot from their corner. But then again, have to remember this that even after being a T1 team or maybe a Turkish giant, you are going to suffer a lot when it comes to a third party situation or multiple teams are just when they are aiming onto you, things might not be that fruitful. Wardenton on the other corner, the guys from Hivex are waiting from down the ridge. They're just trying to get an idea where the player are. Like BHP was actually quite chaotic. He had 6 or 7 frags, if I'm not wrong, in the previous matchup. So I'm looking forward. Oh,
Oh,
one nade!
wow.
Just one nade! He was able to take down 2 players, but then again, too much commitment, and with that, a big loss is going to come in. BHP has been shut down. What is going to happen to Lyron? Oh, again, too much tag. Overcommitment, and the loss is going to be drastic. Look at that, another 1v1, and that's it. The team has been shut down. It's Ivex who is going to survive despite of having the upper hand after taking 1 nade and 2 players down. It's Digital Athletics who has been shut down at the same moment.
Yeah, not quite sure that this was a good idea, but I mean, if I have to be on a BHP's perspective, once you secure 2 kills, like you get that excitement knowing that yeah, both of them are down. So I'm pretty sure the third player would go in for the revive, but that thinking definitely got himself killed. But I've got to say, for Digital Athletics, being that much aggressive, although it did help them proceed in some certain situations, but definitely not a good way to go down like that. Now, as we take a look at Unity Esports' end, they will succeed in removing the opposition side, which remains to only 12 teams in phase one. That is interesting because on Erangel, you still had around at least 15 to 14 teams left, and there wasn't a lot of gunfights happening, especially long range gunfights. Miramar, on the other hand, that's exactly what's happening. I mean, if you take a look at from Zivex's perspective, you saw a lot of long range gunfights being happening around. There was a lot of third parties happening, so it was best for them to just try to stay alive at that moment. But that aggressive play there from the first, from the previous clip that we saw, not quite sure if it was. Definitely helping them from their end, but team threats. Oh boy, 3 4 6 down for the count. Now it's up to the rest of the players to see whether they can save the
Oh,
teammate or try, or just let go, but just get the kill whenever it's needed.
I mean, he can actually try to safeguard his own teammate because he have dished a beautiful knockout onto Team Threats as well. So obviously, Team Threats is also trying to just repatch themselves and be back in the fight. And at this point, one good guy from the other team has already been revived, and look at this guy. He was trying to parachute his way in the particular play zone, but has already been taken down. And the Golden Mirado is already there for Brotherhood. That's also quite interesting. So looking forward to see how Brotherhood is going to perform in the initial fight. So look at that, the angle, but the gun is A32, way too much recoil, but still he was able to find a beautiful knockout onto the player. Now it's all about Risley BS Sparta. A tough one for the Sparta. But I really believe he might be able to take a 1v2 because the gun in his hand is a S1987, a beautiful shotgun, but still a beautiful flank from Spicy Aga. He knew, he had the audio cues that the player might be actually jumping from the same vicinity, and at the end it's Team Threats who is going to get the advantage. I thought for a brief moment that Team Threats is going to get shut down because they didn't had the different angles, but eventually the flank coming in from the other guy, that was Fury or maybe some other guy like CP4Z, was absolutely impressive. If the flank would have not been there, I guess maybe Gobus would have been getting that victory. Anything on the other corner, that's Team NOC for now. Nocturnal, to be precise, is also creating a lot of buzz. Brotherhood on the other corner is trying to fight with Hivix, exactly the same team which was able to shut down Team Digital Athletics. So we should not doubt their potential. Oh, that was a quick nade, a good one to be honest, and pretty much is going to deny the fact that Brotherhood for a brief time period had the upper hand in this particular fight. With that, Bomb Billy Bomb Bomb is also going to wait. Some more nades are going to get used up, but Hivix is having the upper hand for now.
Yeah, those grenades and heavy utilities from Hivex are definitely favoring them a lot. 2 grenades securing 1 kill and a 1 down. And you still have that long range, line of sight from Bluffis, hoping to provide some good line of sight coverage, information, whatever you know it. Bombly Bomb Bomb on the other hand, even though he did secure 2 of the players, he did secure 1 of the kill, but the revival will be made from uh, you know, Bro M4. So he'll be looking good. But Bluffis is thinking something else. He wants to secure the kill, but instead he will just provide good line of sight to protect his teammate instead. There's a lot of sound waves being given around. Flashbang being tossed will not affect Bluffist. So he will be safe. Smokes being tossed to block some certain lines of sight. But still, this is going to be a lot of major problems from Bro's end. But Hivix doesn't want to give away the risk because if they get caught out, that is going to be very tough. Boom, boom, boom. On the other hand, he wants to do the initiative. Sees one of the players, doesn't get the proper shot just yet. So he's going to go inside the building. But he's been taking quite a lot of damage. He's going to bandage himself. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have any energy drink just yet. So trying to remove this one team off the block would at least have some, breathing grounds for them so that they could, help them prepare in the next future gunfights. But Brotherhood, on the other hand, they're just holding tight. They just don't want to give away their positioning just yet. Even the line of sight is just so, you know helpful for Brotherhood so that they can both watch their backs. But this aggressive playstyle you see from Hivex, this is going to be a tough one. Long range places,
Uh,
Brotherhood definitely not looking good, and M4 will be forced for a healing situation once again. This is looking very bad for Brotherhood.
Indeed, Brother is actually getting tagged up from multiple corners, but right now Havoc is the one big team, one big obstacle for them to survive at this moment. But let's see how they're going to perform. Let's see how their eliminations are going to become the factor. Twitch M4 is there. Yamini is trying to survive. They're on the edge, which is actually the conventional play when we talk about the map of Miramar. Every now and then you'll get to see in the map of Miramar that the teams are actually going to choose edges over the central compounds, because whenever you choose a central compound in the map of Miramar, you become more or so a center of attraction, and that is one thing you never want when you talk about a battle royale scenario of PUBG PC. But other than that, the edge fights are also going to be very crucial because multiple teams are going to get gatekeeped at this particular edge, and that's exactly what Hivex is trying to do. They're not moving in onto Team Brotherhood, and Brotherhood is unable to move in onto Hivex because they're already getting gatekeep. Bluffist on the other corner is trying to come up with a flank, and that flank might just actually save the day for the team. Other than that, look at that. Alan is also waiting with 2 amazing frags in his favor. He has shown his own skills. He has shown his own meta. But the nades, oh, Nocturnal Snoop was able to take down a beautiful takedown with the SKS. And that's Twitch Yamini who has been taken down. Now, this is the moment. This is the opportunity that everybody was waiting for from the team of 5X. And look at the peak and pressure coming in. One more spray, and that's it. Brother Rose has been eliminated at hashtag 11. That means 0 position points. And I believe 1 or 2 kills that they had is actually going to give them the upper hand in the overall ranking. But other than that, Havoc is looking comfortable for now.
I mean, this whole gunfight was like, who's going to get third partied? Will it be Hivex or will it be the other? But turns out it was both of them. But it was Team Nocturnal, who is Team Anything, by the way, folks. If you guys are wondering who Team Nocturnal is, they just changed their name, so it is Team Anything at the moment. But we'll get to see that in match number 3. But for now, let's just focus on the match. As Escapation trying to engage in two teams here. Not quite sure if it's a good idea, but at least he'll be able to deal some minor damage. KD is just looking good. He's just wrecking havoc from that MK12. Gotta be careful on both the sides. Oh boy, that is great damage though from KD. Two important shots to the body will definitely force Hivex to be in a very safe spot. And this 3 long-range gunfight is going to be the make it or believe it moment for Hivex. I mean, they survived a huge gunfight up against from Team Nocturnal. But now Team Nocturnal they have to see whether which team they should they need to focus on. Will it be from team who are they, or will it be from team Hivex? That's going to be a tough one though.
Who are they? Are definitely having the upper edge at this point, but eventually, will they be able to take down 13D at this point? That's a big question because 13 Delay is also trying to come up with some flanks, and they have got some beautiful vehicles in their favor through which they are able to rotate. But now, the way they are stopping, the angles that they are actually having in their favor might just not be helpful for them. And look at that, the tag scar coming in. SLR is not a very good gun to actually come up with some tap shots. But on the hindsight, look at that. Virus was trying to sneak upon the enemy, but no, he's going to get countered. He's going to get taken down, and this could be the sixth frag for the team. At the same time, Avex is also trying to create records on Team Nocturnals, or should I say anything? And yeah, Noob has been taken down. What about the other guys? Well, they are surviving. They are trying to change the pace of the game, trying to get an idea about the angle. Single tap shots or maybe a burst shot is going to come in from this guy. Look at that. He spots the player and was able to take him down. Despite of having the 5 kills in his favor, the guy has been shut down with that Nocturnal, so was able to secure 6 amazing frags. Abul Mir and Cello, both of them are surviving. HPs have been replenished. 19, 26 players are surviving, but still from the long ranges, I believe 300 to 400 meters of range, shots are coming in from those mini 14s or SIMGs or maybe some snipers as well.
Yeah, when you're out in the open like that, it's very difficult to be careful, especially when you have two teams focusing on one certain line of sight, which will be very difficult. I mean, I could have said the name for team X, but still somehow surviving from two teams, removing Brotherhood off the equation, and now 13 Delay being eliminated from Hivex. It is currently, only two players remaining from Hivex's end, but they've secured 8 kills. And last time I remember on map Erangel, I'm pretty sure that they did secure a top 3 or top 4 position. But Hivex, man, they had to survive in so many gunfights. One coming in from long range from Team Anything, and also the second from Team Brotherhood. They're still alive, but they still need to figure out a way to get that maximum control positioning because they are always in danger. I mean, I could say the same thing for Team Nocturnal 2, which is Team Anything. Both of them are in big trouble. So unless and until if they remove at least one team and secure one particular place, they will be safe. But I'm pretty sure that Bombili Bom Bom, who's the one who's making such important kills, could be huge. And here comes Bluffest, finds one. Cello goes out. And just like that, Hivex are just looking so good. Might be able to get the second though, but unfortunately he's getting tagged or someplace else. And once again, for Team Anything, this is looking very tough for them. Heals will be made. He's the only player left. It's a 1v2 situation. Grenades being tossed out. It's not going to deal any damage as of now. But the circle is coming to a very close halt, and it's best for him to arrive at that particular place. Shots will be
Oh,
made. Boom, billy, boom, boom. Not looking good. 25 HP. Another cooked nade. Will it catch Abu Mir? Oh, we just
yeah,
have to
that's
wait
it.
and watch. Cooked nade. Perfectly cooked. Absolutely just cooked to perfection. Hivex just so many gunfights that they had to deal with, and they ended up being victorious by getting 10 kills in their name here, Raider. So two
Mm-hmm.
currently we only have 7 teams left, and now we're entering
Yeah.
phase 5.
See, you can already compare this map to the Wrangle because eventually in the phase 5 we had, I believe, somewhere around 10 to 11 teams in the previous matchup,
Hmm.
and right now, just
Yeah.
because the compounds are there, I guess we might see some more survival. Other than that, if this would have been an open zone, things would have been a bit more drastical. But this is Elazar. Again, a very huge compounded region where the fights will be there. But look at that. Who are they are actually having the height advantages in their favor. From that particular corner, they can easily land some good shots onto maybe Pacific Esports or even Immortals or just completely shut down 8 Unity Esports. Have to look into the fact how they're going to rotate. And from the ridges, there are some more teams. For a brief time period, I did saw some more teams coming up from the ridges. So let's see how they will play. Let's see how they will perform. Srikosh on the other corner is also trying his level best with the SKS. That's a good gun, has a decent amount of recoil, but eventually the bullet drop is also massive, and you can already see. But still, a
Wow.
beautiful decimation coming up. Team Threats player C4BZ has been taken down, but the revival might be coming in because there is still, I guess, few seconds left for the zone to get shrink down. But yeah, the zone is already on the move. Let's see how Team Threats is going to cooperate with it. But who are they? They are about to receive a beautiful nade, and Escapation was barely escaping from that nade, but still is surviving. Team Threat on the other corner is not going to give them a lot more time. Just one more bullet, just one more sneaky damage, and that could be it. Let's see how Escapation is going to survive. Oh, the vehicle has been busted out. Still, those smoke covers was able to help escalation, patching himself with the first aid kits. And right now, moving forward, some more smokes are into the play so that they can survive a bit longer. And also, the revival could be there. Kaiti is a very crucial player for the team. Multiple smokes have been used up. Look at that, 6, 7 smokes have been utilized at this point. And Team Threat, they are just still trying to figure out where the player that they have knocked out is. On the hindsight, Spicy Aka is also trying to push forward. CB4Z is actually on the top of the ridge and he's about to get KO'd out. And yeah, the knockout comes in from full auto.
Yep, there goes one player from Team Threats, and Full Auto will make sure that he would not cross the circle. And this is going to be a tough one. I mean, there's a lot of long range gunfights happening around on phase 5. And they still need, I mean, Team Threats needs to still be careful on WAT. Who are they? I mean, that's the name of the team. Who are they? Grown and Katie. Both of them are just, you know, they're just showing so much presence. Team Threats is already having a lot of major problems. So the only thing that they have is just trying to eliminate this team, either by doing in for an aggressive playstyle. Grown and Kitty, both of them currently has the high ground potential, and Escapation is trying to be the bait, seeing whether if he could, find a player or two and maybe let Kate get the kill. And oh boy, this is so very close. Fury runs back to safety near the stone, but Escapation's location is still unknown. He could use that surprise attack, but instead he will save his teammate by taking out Spicy Yaka. Sprints will be made, but the circle will catch him off guard, and just like that, he will get taken out. Actually, no, he still stay alive, but the same thing cannot be said for Fury. There goes Team Threats, and Escapation will barely escape, making sure that he will stay alive for the team, which leads to just only 6 teams left in phase 6, and they only have a minute left before all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, the next play zone is going to be way too chaotic. The only thing which is actually just, should I say, denying the aggression is the play zone, is the particular compounds, which is actually a big part of this particular play zone. But pretty soon, I guess the compounds are going to get denied. The play zone will be in an open space, which will be a very small play zone. And after that, the fights will be actually on another level. Immortals with the full manpower is looking very good. They could actually secure the chicken dinner. It's all about the next few play zones, which is going to take some huge shifts, and with which I guess things might change. Kaiti, Escapation, Grown, both of them, all three of them are actually having a very decent advantage of the height from which they can fight back. Make sure to actually check out the RTX 4070s as well, guys, if you can, if you want to purchase them. All the details about the stores in your respective locations are already given in the description. Make sure to actually go ahead and check it out. But there we go, the fight's coming in. Quick Step has been taken down way too quickly, but in retaliation, Escapation has been taken down as well. The nade was there, but way too far away. Whoa, that another nade was actually quite on point. Just Oza is also getting tagged up from the backside. Won't be that easy for him to survive with, but Drown comes up with a smoke so that he can just avoid the shots coming from full auto, I believe. So that's good. Other than that, who are they? The player which was knocked out is actually back in the formation. He's actually getting revved up and has got the full HPs in his favor. Same goes for Team Full Auto as well. Full Auto is actually a 4-man power squad, so they can definitely have the advantage. Another beautiful nade. Oh man, what is happening? World Lord has been taken down. Quick Step has been taken down. It's all about this guy at this point. And the Just Rosa guy. But wow, what a beautiful peek and fire coming with the barrel. A beautiful gun indeed. In the close quarter, you definitely have to have the advantage out of it. Now the revival is coming in for the guy, maybe Quick Step, because he's lower on his HP. If he's not going to survive, if he's not going to get the revivals, he might just bleed out and get eliminated. Hivix on the other corner still surviving. I'm impressed to see them. For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Grown, he was way out in the open, and he had no idea on Full Auto squads' location. So definitely they did, caught themselves off guard. But they'll still be alive. Revival will be made. Full Auto will still be alive, but they still got to be careful on those long range gunfights once again. Team who are they are just looking good. Pacific Esports, on the other hand, there's just only one player left. I'm pretty sure that they've had maximum amount of gunfights being held out from Immortals' end. But now, once again, phase 6 is coming to an end in just 10 seconds, which means now it's all or nothing for Immortal. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, for Immortal, they're currently in a good position, but the main problem is the high ground, right? The teams from Full Auto and who are they? They're the ones who have, long range gunfights that they can attend. And how can I forget about Hivex? They're still alive with 11 kills in hand. Imagine if they did win this map second, they could go 2 to
Yeah.
2 up against Pacific Esports. So this could be huge. for for them if they try to secure that kill or two from Hivex, but they still got to be careful for Immortals because they're also thinking of the same thing.
I mean, every single team is trying to actually have the winner a chicken dinner at this point because, as I said in the initial circuit as well, that putting up the pressure in the initial moment or maybe in some early maps is actually going to help them a lot in the later stages in order to qualify. At the same time, if we talk about Immortal, AKM in the hand, M24 in the backpack, Carnate in the hand for Tokyo as well. Carnate K is a very beautiful gun, but only if you are able to aim with it precisely and eventually able to get those shots right. Because there is nothing you can do to trace the player, just one shot and you forget about it. Then you have to again cock that particular gun, reload the bullets, and shoot the players. You do have 5 bullets in that particular gun while you reload that particular gun, but then eventually, even after a single shot, you have to recock it. So that's one thing which is quite chaotic for the guys of Immortal if they want to play with those. Like Tokyo is having the Carnate 8K, some other guy from Immortal is having the M24. No doubt those guns are a very good heavy hitter, but only if your aim is quite on point. Now, moving forward in the seventh place zone, 27 minutes have been passed, but still we have 6 amazing teams and 16 players surviving. That really showcases the talent in these amazing giants coming from their own respective regions. Oh, the MK12 shots. You did heard the rapid shots coming in, and those taps really require a lot of anticipation.
Yeah, still that high ground control from both Who Are They and Full Auto is going to be a lot to take care of. And Celtec is the only player left for Pacific Esports. He still needs to stay alive. So low on HP. He needs to be careful on Bluffest. He's also in the same building, but also there's escapation. He sees Celtic's location and make sure that Pacific Esports will be eliminated at securing sixth place. That is actually a not bad positioning. But for Hivex, if they have to get themselves back up on their feet, they need to make sure that they will survive. Because this high ground potential from Team Who Are There, this could be the important moment. Because once phase 8 comes into play, and if it still ends up being in this big mountain, then this could cause major problems for all three teams. All three teams for ATE, Hivex, and Immortal, and looks like it's still favoring for Who Are They and Team Full Auto. So this is going to be much more problematic for the rest of the three teams, unless and until they figure out a way to down them. But they still have to be careful on that. I mean, look at that, they are so close, and yet they haven't figured out a way to remove this three important players on the sides of Team Who Are They. They still need to figure out a way to remove them once and for all, because if they cannot, then things could go even much more problematic for them. So they have to take care of it right now. And here comes the utilities, Molotovs being tossed, and also some grenades will be used as well. Who Are They? It's just tight gunfights being happening around, and yet they're just trying in for peaks, they're just trying in for pokes, hoping that they could deal some major damage. But on the other hand, from the downside, you see Hivex encountering a grenade down from the side of Immortals. And now the focus from Who Are They, focusing on two sides. It's just absolutely amazing to see this, because if they cannot find one players from the side of Team Fulaudo, they'll just quickly switch off to the other team and see whether if they can get a kill or two. And Groan, my god, that is a lot of damage, but somehow Depp is still alive. He runs back to safety. Oh no, opportunities missed, but Groan, he still doesn't want to give up. Both of them are so low on HP, but they're still alive. The circle is shrinking down to size once again, with Full Auto having the advantage. Groan goes down. Full Auto is looking very good, but the same thing cannot be said for Team Who Are They.
Or they are actually going to get tagged from multiple corners, be it the lower ridges or actually the team known as Full Auto. This guy is there, look at that. He could be the one chaotic guy. On the hindsight, from the Immortals perspective, there are some more mini 14 tap shots coming to the play. Ground has been taken down once again by the play zone, and that's it. That's it. The team has been shut down. I guess valiant effort coming from the team known as Who Are They, but eventually their identity is just going to their identity is now just being concealed at this point. Moving forward, Full Auto, 7 amazing eliminations, and now their focus is being shifted towards Immortal. And look at that, from those small windows they're playing, and the players are getting picked one by one, and that's it. The whole lineup of Immortals has been shut down. It's all about the two teams which are surviving, three teams to be precise, in the phase number 9. Remember, the phase number 9 is going to be the last phase. There is no circles after this phase. So yeah, it's all about your utilities that you are going to use up. 8 utilities, last member standing is surviving. He's going to get for sure somewhere around 5 position points for sure. If even if he's going to get eliminated at this same exact moment. If he survives for a bit more time period, if he gets more points in his favor, and it will be a beneficial fight for the team. But other than that, 9 points is a decent amount of points when you see the newer point distribution system. With the AUG in his hand, 42 bullets to be precise, waiting for the dart opportunity. Players are pushing forward. What will happen? He spots one, sprays for sample, but the zone is going to push forward, and that's it. That's it for 8 Unity Esports. The advantage falls in the hands of Team Full Auto, and they are going to secure the chicken dinner. No doubt a valiant effort coming from Hyvex as well, because Hyvex is surviving with two-man power for a way too long period of time. Bomb Billy Bomb Bomb is going to the last one, finds one knockout, but that's it. The chicken dinner is here. Full Auto secures a beautiful chicken dinner. From the 16 teams that were there in the match, it's Full Auto who is going to bag out the next chicken dinner of the qualifiers number two. Day number one, match number two is already done and dusted. Full Auto, definitely a commendable job done from their corner.
Yeah, all they had to do was just gain control of the high grounds, in which both teams did. Both Team Full Auto and Team Huarde was just trying to challenge the control on that high ground, and potentially it was Full Auto who did ended up winning it, mainly because of the positioning of the circle. It definitely did favor for Team Full Auto, which eventually did get the upper hand on eliminating the rest of the players. Immortals, on the other hand, despite them having all four players still being available, they were in a very bad position. They were still in the building. They didn't have proper line of sights for them to cover up with, because most of the players were either having control of the high ground, or playing beside them near the next building. Pacific Esports, I'm pretty sure when they went up against gunfight with Immortals, they definitely didn't had a good majority gunfights at all, because they unfortunately get caught out from Immortals. So maximum amount of damage has been dealt around for Pacific Esports, but on the bright side, they did secure sixth place. But for Team Full Auto, though, kudos to them. I mean, they had challenged who are they in such a good positionings that it was too tough, but in the end, they survived and secured their chicken dinner. But for now, folks, in order for us to proceed to match number three, we'll be taking a short little break, and we'll be right back after this, folks. All right, folks. So welcome back to Zotac Cup presents Players Unknown's Battlegrounds. We are back with Group B of the stages, and we also already have our two matches completed. First map, Erangel, it will be Team Pacific Esports who will secure their chicken dinner, and also on map number two, Miramar, it will be Team Full Auto, which means that map number three, we're going back with Erangel once again, Raider. So I've got to
Yeah.
ask, out of all the 16 teams that are going to have, and also taking a look at the team standings as well, we've seen a lot of presence in the top 10 teams. Quite specifically, I would talk about Team Hivex. Digital Athletics were nowhere to be seen on Miramar, but I did see the presence, or a lot of presence being shown on map one and map two from Team Hivex, Team Nocturnals, who is currently Team Anything at this point, and Team Who Are the Who, and also Team Unity Esports. So all these the three teams that I'm talking right now in the match standings, currently Full Auto securing 13 kills, which would span a total of 23 points. So I gotta ask for you this question. Team Hivex's presence have been
Mhm.
shown on two maps. Do you think it's going to happen the same on map number three as well to try to establish a consistent points?
I mean, that definitely should actually happen because if you're consistent, you are the one which is going to outshine at the end of the day. We have seen some tremendous play coming from, I guess, teams like Digital Athletics, also from Pacific Esports. But what happened in the next map? They're securing some just, I guess, 1 or 2 points. That's it. So being a consistent one is actually going to help Ivex a lot, and I really believe in that particular team. Also, not just Ivex, there is another team that is 8 Unity Esports. That's another team which was also quite chaotic, had decent points, 10 to 11 points in their favor in the previous matchup as well. And in this matchup, in the map number two, they again had some decent points. But yeah, let me remind you once again. Initially, we had the match number one, which was Erangel, and in which I guess Pacific Esports with 23 points was the one which secured the chicken dinner. In the next match,
Hmm.
match number two to be precise, it was Full Auto with again 23 points in their favor. Is it going to be a similar story or not? We'll get to see in the match number three. That is Erangel, the base map, the one map that the OG map we like to call it. Yeah, the cinematic shots of Erangel are going to come in for you guys. So yeah, military base and Pochinki, two of the most beloved places. Military base is
Yep.
a lot. Pochinki is way too chaotic, I believe. But yeah, the flight path is there from Milta Power to somewhere around, I guess, Jharki is going to be the flight path, which is again quite an impressive one. It's a diagonal flight path, cutting the map in a ratio of 70 to 30 if you see the landmass. So that's again going
Hmm.
to be difficult for those teams which are trying to approach Primorsk or maybe Ferry Pier or even Query along with military base and stuff. So yeah, I would love to see how they're going to drop there if they want to go over there. They can actually choose some Dacia or some other vehicle so that they can rotate through the roads or through the terrain. But then again, while they are rotating, if the play zone is going to shift in northern locations, they will not be having any kind of loot, and that situation is just not good for many teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you take a look at the squads here, Brotherhood has kind of made a decision to just drop in towards Milta, but there is one squad who's going all the way towards Nova Reponia. I believe that's the name of the map itself. Yeah, Nova Reponia, which is almost quite in towards the military base itself. That place has good amount of loot items. You still have great vehicles to traverse from one place to the other. So they could have either an option of traveling, using vehicles to head in towards the bridge, but heading in towards the bridge is always a risky decision. So it's best to have at least a boat that can help you, traverse in a different way where you won't get caught out by surprise. Bridge, especially on the military base, is very risky to pass through. So it's going to be a lot of work for the players who've been dropped in from No Reponie. So let's see what's going to happen. But all eyes on the side of Full Auto, though. They've secured the second chicken dinner, and also from Pacific Esports too. They did secure the fifth place, but still, Erangel, anything can happen, especially in a battle royale game like this. There will be a lot of change in the circle, and I mean, just like we saw on the flight path, this just cut off diagonally. Although I'm really not that good at math or physics, but what I do know is that the amount of kills that they reach in towards the first place is the one who's going to get the chicken dinner. That's all I know.
The amount of chicken dinners and also with that the placement points is also going to be quite crucial for sure. But moving forward in the game at this point, I believe every single guy is Surviving 16 teams and 63 players is there. 2 minutes and 35 seconds have already been passed off. No chaos, no aggression whatsoever. Why am I talking about the time period? Because if you guys remember, in just 3 minutes and 50 seconds, we had two teams eliminated in the previous matchup. That was Miramar. So that's a very aggressive map. But now let's talk about the OG one. That's Erangel. And you can clearly see that the teams are a bit more focused on their loots, bit more focused on having utilities and also some vehicles so that they can rotate in the further circle. Other than that, teams like 13 Delay are just ironically delaying their push at this moment while looting and having the advantage of the water city as well. Well, this area is actually going to become a very good chokehold for Team 13 Delay. If they are able to do that, it will be actually quite helpful for them in the further cycle. But once again, guys, this whole event Zotac Cup has been powered by RTX 4070. There are various versions of it. For example, the twin is the AMP Airo, or even the collaboration with the Spider-Man across the Spider-Verse. Yeah. So you can actually go ahead and check it out. All the details are there in the description. Make sure to go for it. Other than that, Pochinki seems to be a very peaceful place for now. But very soon the chaos will rise in this location as well. If the zone would have been there, but the zone has shifted. So definitely the players have to go ahead and approach for the next circle. This is Team TA, another beautiful team, no doubt in that. This was actually quite good while performing in the previous two maps. But then again, the consistency comes up to an end in the later stages for this team. So, yeah, they have to pull up some strength. They have to pull up some new strategies so that they can survive till the end.
At this point, Pochinki is fully free. There's not the rest of the teams currently be trying to challenge, just like you saw on the first match. So I'm pretty sure that it is Team ATE Unity Esports who's currently in Pochinki, but already there's a first gunfights happening right now between Digital Athletics. I think they're going in for a challenging raid. Okay, interesting. But actually, no, they're just going to go head in towards another safe position where they can hold good long angles to ensure that they can hold their ground properly. But they're going to enter in towards Rozox territory, and I'm thinking that there shouldn't be any players being present. Actually, there is. Yeah, but that's actually the players from Digital Athletics side. I do have to apologize. For a moment there, I thought it was an enemy. Then afterwards, I realized, wait, it's DA. You don't have to worry about anything. They're just scouting the plays. They're just making sure that they won't, find any surprise attacks, getting some good loot as you definitely want in later stage of phases, and also make sure to get those care packages, because care packages are also important but also risky, because if any team do decides to capture that care package, that could cause major problems. And I think 13 delay wants to get that package. Yeah, I think they're going exactly in that positioning now.
Yeah, if they get that K package, they can actually have the level 3 advantage. There are many vehicles here. The close top US is there, the Kupaji is there, through which they can easily cut up a lot of more rotations. But seems like that 13 delay have actually secured a beautiful compound in their favor, which is significantly in the zone. On the hindsight, 1453's Ghost Sara is also trying to jump in a very close vicinity. If the players would have been there, things will not be that favorable. But look at that DP28. This is a very good weapon when you use it as a burst shot, but spraying a DP28 and that too way too far away won't actually help you a lot because the recoil is massive because it utilizes the ammo which is quite hectic, and that is 7.62. At the same time, Pacific Esports, after losing the previous matchup way too early, now this time they want to survive, they want to gain the advantage out of it. But let's see what this guy is going to get. Okay, a P90. Now that's impressive. This gun is actually going to be
Oh,
way too helpful for this guy, and eventually the recoil is not that much. Level 3 gear is already in his favor. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see how Gosara is going to cut the deal, because very soon players might be swarming in this location because this is a very open-ended location, and if there might be some other teams who are willing to take the advantage of the drop, then maybe 1453 Esports' Gosara will not be favorable.
and the best part about Gosara is that he also has the ghillie suit too, so he could at least try to camouflage himself in a very long location and get some good kills in long range itself. When you have a silencer like that, that could be good. But here comes the gunfight already coming in from Who Are They's end, going up against Team Pro. They've already secured two kills. Both players from the start of Team Pro has been eliminated, which means that there's only two players left. And Team Who Are They are looking very confident in map Erangel. Phase 1 already coming to a close, and Team Threats is making a stop towards the fuel play. I mean, not all towards the fuel pump, making sure to get enough gas canisters to make sure that their weapon is in that their vehicle is in full health. Also get some loot too while they're at it. But nonetheless, at this point, Pacific Esports, they are still alive, and the same thing could also be said for team, you know, for team
Full auto.
Hivex.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I just keep forgetting about it. But yeah, already Hivex. Once again, going up against Pacific Esports will be a tougher competition, but we just have to wait and watch and see how this gunfight folds out.
Oh yeah, it seems like that Noxy is actually going to fall back from this situation because he has to regroup with his own teammates. And Hyvex is actually going to take the complete control of that compound. And look at that, the shots are flying here and there. Noxy is still surviving. The head is not looking good because the helmet is pretty much depleted. With that, now the push is going to go on, and on that particular compound, seems like that Pacific Esports is going to have a very tough time surviving. Oh, look at that, look at that. The damage is absolutely ample. Where are the last two players from Pacific Esports? If the cover is not there, they could have been shut down at the same moment. Alhan is actually trying to push forward and maybe safeguard his own vehicle. Bombilly Bomb Bomb on the other corner is also having his own angle, trying to get an idea where the player is. And even if Noxy makes a small move, he's going to get spotted because the scope is absolutely amazing. T40's LS Kakauch was able to take down the particular guy. And with that knockout, things are not looking good for Hivex. At this point, if there is going to be a double trouble situation for this team, there might be an end to Hivex's rampage. But we want to see a consistent play coming from this team, also from 8 Unity Esports. Even after 9-minute marker, not even a single team has been out of equation. Just 3 players have been eliminated from some different teams, I believe. But other than that, Hivex is going to get the revival back in the meta.
Yeah, the third party from Hivex is going to, cost a lot from them. Forced for a revive, had to be wasted for a lot of first aid kits, especially when they have to go up against, two teams, might I add. So that two line of sight, I think, is best for them to hold their ground, heal themselves back up, use painkillers and first aid kits or whatnot to make sure that they would stay alive and not get caught off in the process. But the next future phases, it's going to be tough for them, knowing that there is two teams focusing on Team Hivex, who, let's not forget, on both the maps that they've secured consistent standings, maybe in towards third or fourth place. So if they get caught out on map number 3, this could cause major potential damage for them, especially in the standings, knowing that they got themselves caught out on phase 2 itself. So they just have to play it safe. Meanwhile, as we take a look at Team Gobus's end, once again traversing towards another place, still trying to make sure that they head in towards the circle as fast as possible. Team Gobus are just trying to play it safe, playing it passive. They just don't want to head into, getting in towards the gunfight as best as possible. Maybe they didn't had enough good loot while they, dropped in from the place. So there we go. They just have to reach to that place as best as possible, because on phase 3 and phase 4, that's exactly the phases where you would expect to see the other teams trying to guard the circles and not let any squad or player enter in towards the building. And here comes Boom Boom, trying to contest the players up against ATE. Oh boy, major damage, still alive. And he's gonna go back and stay with his team. My god, that is too close for comfort. And Team Hivex are just hunting them down by every chance that they can get.
This could be the invitation to an overcommitment because there is digital athletics in the front end, and they are again very aggressive. They have shown their talent while tracing the players, and look at that! Look at that! Once again, the similar situation is going to happen. Immense amount of damage is there, but still not enough to trace down the players out of the vehicle. But I really believe with that damage onto their face, now Team Havoc is just going to go underground at this point in those bunkers in order to heal themselves and then eventually be back in the fight. Youth was able to secure one frag for the team. Full Auto on the other corner, the team with the previous victory, is still surviving. They had 23 points, if I'm not wrong, in that particular matchup. But other than that, shooting range is the location where they are. There are a few bunkers from which they can just survive, in which they can survive. But look at the shots, man. That's impressive. SLR, a gun with a lot of recoil, but then again, the players, they have a very good potential of actually controlling it and playing with it. Dacia is also at the contestment. 999 BHP once again does the overcommitment stuff. He is pushing forward way too aggressive. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how this play is going to unfold. But yeah, the players from Full Auto are now about to receive a very vigilant backstab, very violent backstab, to be honest. And the engine has already been cut off. Look at that. So that no audios will be delivered to the enemy. Ah, interesting place. Full Auto on the other corner secures their first frag. After the previous victory, why is there just 3 players surviving in Full Auto, or why is there just 3 players joining in this particular team? Because I don't think so. It's going to help them. Having a three-man power is obviously going to cut short one angle for the team, one flank for the team, and with which I guess full water might not survive for the later periods. But yes, at this point, Pacific Celtic with a beautiful Kar 98K shot finds one from Team The Threats.
Currently, Team Digital Athletics, sorry, currently still going as they're trying to show their aggressiveness by pushing all the way towards that specific place where the opponents are. At least on the bright side, I could say that Team Elite has survived quite a lot. Apparently, both on map 1 and map 2, Elite were eliminated, and they were the first to get eliminated first. So Cobra has to be very careful because DA are just sprinting in and trying to find this one specific player, Cobra, who is somehow safe, but still needs to be careful on team full auto. And here comes Lyron, just catching Kaboom off guard just like that. No information being given, and Pacific Esports once again trying to play it safe. Full auto, they're just, they are just not looking good at all. At least on the bright side, you could say that all of the three players who have just secured chicken dinners, they are still alive, and they're still trying to gain as much kills as possible. Elites, on the other hand, they just lost one of their players. So instead of going in and trying to engage in the gunfight, they will decide to fall back and, just take a chill pill. They don't want to engage in that gunfight just yet. And Brotherhood, on the other hand, they're just having the fight in the other place, which is happening right outside the circle. They're just going to play it safe. The circle is currently in phase 3, and Immortals, he is just playing in a very good location, especially Trikush, who is uh, immediately giving information towards the team, indicating that there is players in towards the building, so it's best to just fall back instead of engaging in those gunfights. Who are they? And Team Gobus. This could be an important one though, because they have the circle in their hands, and just like I talked about on phase 3 and phase 4, this is usually where most of the teams would gain control of the outer circles, where
Yeah.
usually the teams would just enter in, right? So they would at least try to
Mhm.
camp in that place and make sure that none of the other teams would enter into the building and gain the upper hand by not only getting the kills, but also making sure that they would have full clearance and full information on whatever's happening on the map.
Oh, indeed. But at this point, I would love to see how 8 is going to perform. 8 Unity Esports, to be honest. But who are they? He's actually in a very open spot. He can be taken down by Team Gobus. And yeah, Gobus was waiting. But still, look at the aim. Needix, you are actually going to need a lot of aim power at this point. But then again, on the other corner, a beautiful shot coming to the play. Escapation is still trying to escape. Some more nades are coming into the play. Let's see how this nade is going to impact. Another nade from the enemy was also quite on point. With the B, Team Brotherhood is actually eliminating players. That's impressive. Team 4 Terrorists is actually getting enacted quite a bit. Oh, a beautiful drop shot coming into the play. That was absolutely mesmerizing. But now the revival is coming into the action. Third zone is already getting compromised. Yes, multiple teams are getting support with it. But still, 15 teams and 50 players are surviving. And that's what we have to look into in the next play zone.
Yeah, at this point, Team Gobus are they have the control on the high ground, so they just have to just be careful and trying to find that proper opening as best as possible. Team Pro will secure one of the kills. They still have to be careful on those long-range gunfights from TA. Who are they? It's just very close. His location isn't given just yet. Prone and in a very dangerous spot. He's still alive nonetheless. Who are they? Especially Escapation is just so on point with the shots, and also a confirmation on the kill is just so vital when he has the frag grenades in his hand. Turns out Hivex is in their own specific own trouble, especially when they're going up against Digital Athletics. And turns out Pacific Esports, they're the second team who's been eliminated. They will secure 15th place. And this is phase 4 at this point. Can you imagine that? In phase 4, this is the Pacific Esports is the second team who's been eliminated, which means that you still have 14 teams left in phase 5 who are yet about to enter into as the circle, and expect more than 5 or 6 teams who's about to
Yeah.
have a field day in that circle.
Another brilliant spray, but then again, Escapation has been taken down. If I talk about Dipsoyo and Kaiti, both of them are surviving. Kaiti finds 2 frags. Now the revival is at question, but from the back end, it's Immortal who's trying to do a third party. He's trying to steal that finish, but eventually the cover from those tree trunks is going to help Escapation get a revival. Dipsoyo on the other corner is also surviving. Obus Index has been taken down. Immortal's player. Ooh, multiple tap shots. Yes, the damage is coming in. Few more tap shots, and that could be it. Adipsio carried his teammate on his back, on his shoulder, and he's actually going to go in the cover so that he can revive his own teammate. That's what the play is all about. Surviving and actually making sure that your teammates also survive at the same moment. 13 delay. Yeah, is there. We have got Snipewall, Simon X, and Virus as well. Four of them are unable to secure any kind of frags at this point, but eventually in the later stages, I might see some more frags coming from these particular players. Four zone is about to get compromised in 1 minute and 35 seconds. I mean, it's already on the move. So yeah, it's a tough fight for the other players. Gobus Kukachin on the other corner finds one from MP12. 8 is still surviving. Some more space, not a lot of output, but finally the connection goes there. Connection goes there. Bluffus has been taken down. Oh, is it going to be output? Yes, the output was 1 point. One more shot, that could be it. Yeah, double knockouts coming from Immortals. What a beautiful takedown by Wadu.
Yeah, and also we will expect to see a nade throw from Billy Billy Boom Boom, securing 2 kills in 1 frag grenade. There's a lot of gunfights happening right now, just like I expected on phase 4. There's a lot of dangers happening to us, especially from Brotherhood's end. One of the revive was made, but unfortunately it wasn't much to hold that ground out. Billy Billy Boom Boom once again trying to catch KD off guard, but the speed of the motorcycle will make sure that he will survive. And Hivex are just tearing things apart. 4 kills in map number 3. They've been so consistent on the previous 2 maps, and they could make sure to hold that ground out as best as possible. They're looking very good as well. But Brotherhood, on the other hand, they're still alive. He is still contesting the gunfight up against 13 delay, and somehow he will secure 1 kill. That's an interesting coming in from there from his end. 11 teams remain. Phase 4 circle already coming to an end, which means phase 5. My god, Hivex is still alive, but the same thing cannot be said for Pacific Esports. They just got eliminated at 15th, or actually, they got eliminated at 14th place, followed up with Elite being downed out from number 13th. So this will be a tough one to determine who will put them. I could say that team Hivex would put themselves back up, since even Unity Esports have been eliminated as well. The only difference is the amount of kills that they have, and the amount of positionings that they're in. But I could say that this could either go at the hands of Team Who Are They, Team Hivex, or even more so Digital Athletics. They're still alive too, I just realized.
I'm looking forward to see how Immortals is going to perform in the last circles,
Oh
because
yeah,
yeah, they
I
have got
forgot.
kills, and indeed they have got the manpower. So yeah, let's see how Immortal is actually going to bring out a chicken dinner for themselves. And yeah, there we go. On the other corner, Full Auto is getting punished way too long, way too much. Iska on the other corner also gets taken down, and that's it. The whole team Full Auto Esports has been taken down. I don't know how many finishes they had, but Digital Athletics, look at them. I know, man, 10 frags. But is it going to be a similar situation, just like the first map where they made a mistake of overcommitment and eventually got taken down? Who Are They on the other corner has been eliminated by the hands of, I believe, Immortal. But if we talk about Gobus, Grizzly BS Sparta was able to take one down from Immortal as well. So Immortals are also suffering at the same point. But Gobus gets spotted. Oh, one M24 shot. One good shot onto the head could be it. But for that, he has to be patient. The other guy has to be on a similar note, and then eventually the shutdown could be there. But Hivex on the other corner, after having 3-man power, they are still looking kind of a decent plays coming in from the corner. 1543 is a CR Shank was actually taken down by Elan, which is again quite impressive. Some more shots, that could be it. Let's see, is it possible for 1453 to retaliate out of it? They have the manpower, so yes, definitely they can fight back. But how far will they be able to stretch it out? Guy with the US is trying to push forward. Immortal on the other corner also is getting connected by Ghost Sara. That is P90, the same exact gun that was looted out of that particular K package, or should I say that drop. Needs and needs and needs. Utils are being used up at this point. I don't think so 1453 is going to get comfortable with this. Yeah, 2 players have been taken down. Another 2014 tap shots are coming to the place. Too many peaks. And yes, another player has been taken down. That means 3 players are now knocked out. The last one is actually way too far away, and he's also about to get shot down. Ghost Sara, despite of having the advantage of a ghillie suit and a P90, I don't think so. The journey is going to be long and also very discomforting, to be precise. Hivex is getting multiple advantages, and that's it. From the back end, it was Immortal who was able to steal the finish for the team.
Yeah, Alan is just so on point with his shots. And BHP once again trying to engage in gunfights up against Hivex, who is still trying to survive in phase number 5. Only 5 teams left in the circle, and turns out Hivex is in much of a big trouble because Immortal, Team Immortal, that is, they are currently behind of Team Hivex, and Digital Athletics doesn't want Team Hivex to be in that position. They want to get control of that spot all by themselves. So they're just gonna, commit to those utilities. Nade's been tossed out. Already one of the players has been downed. Informations will be given. BHP sees one of the players. Can he secures the down? He does. One important headshot that dealt 56, and that's more than enough to put the other team on a down. Now it's all up to boom, billy, boom, boom. A lot of frag grenades did secure him with a lot of kills, but this time it won't be. BHP will secure it. 5 kills in his hand, and Team Hivex once again will be eliminated. But on the bright side, they did secure top 5, and now is the moment
Yeah,
of truth to see whether if Team Digital Athletics can secure this chicken dinner, or will it be Team Immortal.
at this point, definitely seeing that this particular team is going to win is a difficult task. And look at that, Immortal finds a beautiful gap. With that, Digital Hands Erling Hand is actually going to be on the back end, and Lyron is also there. Some more throwables, some more utils are going to get used up. But 2 players from the team has been taken down from the other side, from the right flank. There was a beautiful strike coming from Erling's perspective. Immortal, but still Digital Athletics have been taken down. 12 amazing eliminations for Immortals. They are the team with kind of the highest amount of manpower, but at this point, Immortals, one good member has been knocked out. His glove is so crucial. Gobus also comes in. Oh man, Gobus could be sealing the victory because the pressure is immense. Look at that. Wadu has been taken down. Tokyo is back in the formation, has got the heals done. There is an EKM. The golden EKM is actually into the play, which is actually going to help them a lot in the close quarter. But look at the Molos. Utils and the Molos being used rapidly. Beyond a buggy, he's just trying to survive. He's just trying to live for the next fight, I believe. Those mollies are going to create a lot of impact. And that's it. One more player has been taken down. It's all about the guy which was lurking beyond the buggy. Oh, interesting spray coming from the threats. Well. What do you think, Baba? What will happen at this point?
I mean, at this point, I've got to say, Raider, it's just 3 teams left. Immortal is just 1 player left from Team
Hmm.
Threats, who just removed Immortals' chance to secure the chicken dinner. But still, there's 1 player left. 1 player left for Team Immortal who can still make the play. And Tokyo could be the make it or break it moment. Team Threats, Team Gobus, and Immortal. Only 3 teams left. And this circle, phase 6, is already coming to an end, which means that phase 7 will be the last one. They need to figure out a way to move on. Spicy will find 1 player from the side of Team Gobus, and that will give away his positionings as well. MK12, really great weapon though for engaging in long gunfights, but he doesn't want to give away, so he'll just let his other teammate Ham gets the second, down. It's an important one of that too. At this point, Team Threats are just so close to securing chicken dinner, and Spicy is thinking of going in for a very long Frank route, or maybe trying to remove out Immortal team as well. It's a very difficult one of that too. It's just
Mhm.
1v1v2. Team Threat has the advantage at this point, right? It's just 2v1. What
But
wrong
the
could
fact
happen?
is, yeah, I mean, there
Hmm.
is a one thing that I'm actually looking at. The last man from Immortal is already in the zone. He's lurking in the shadow. He might be able to backstab the player. If that happens,
Oh
might be a
yeah.
situation where Team Threats is not going to survive till the end. And even if Team Threats is able to secure the chicken dinner, we have to just calculate the fact that they just have 3 kills. That's all. At max, they are going to secure 6 frags. But at the end, look at Immortal skills. Look at Gobus's skills. So yeah, at the end, I believe still the advantage of overall standings might be in the favor of team side Gobus or Immortal. Another shots are going in. At this point, look at that. Immortal's player is just being very sneaky. He's just avoiding even a single shot at this point. Oh, is it going to be the last
Oh
shot? Yeah.
boy.
Team Threats was able to survive. The other team, Gobus, has been eliminated. At third position, that means 5 position points for them and the n number of finishers that they were able to gather. Now, Immortals is going to be a sneaky one. 5 kills. And with that, if Babagur, they are going to secure a chicken dinner, then also Babagusta, they are going to just have 15 points or 16 maybe if they find out the last player,
Hmm.
Immortal's last player as well. That's just 16 points for them. On the hindsight, Immortal already had 12 to 13 frags, and they are going to secure 6 per position points. That means still, despite of having the chicken dinner, it's kind of a Immortals match.
Yeah, it can be, but here's the thing: Immortals, especially Tokyo, could secure this 1v2 because Hamdu,
Yeah.
he doesn't have any healing utility, so he's just gonna ask his teammate to borrow some of his energy drinks so that he could put himself back to full HP. But this 1v2 is going to be very crucial, because if you try to isolate a 1v1 gunfight, then this could cause major problems for team threats. Immortal just playing it as cool as possible. He'll just wait for the circle to arrive as near as possible. Doesn't want team threats to just, he's just giving a lot of healing time. I'm pretty sure that team threats, once Tokyo's information's been given away, it's just full on over, because they'll just push in towards that location, try to crossfire angle it, and just remove him out one by one. They have tons of smoke. Actually, Tokyo has tons of smoke, 7 smokes in his hand. And the same thing can also be said for team threat Spicy, who still has some minor bandages, and the sprints will be made. It's just so close. Tokyo is just playing it as calm as possible. He has all the time he needs. Phase 7 has ended, and now here comes phase number 8. Oh boy, very close. And yet Tokyo is just calm as a cucumber. Just not going to give away his positioning just yet. Just be calm. Do not move a single muscle, because a single muscle is more than enough to secure a chicken dinner for team threats. At this point, Tokyo is just trying to channel his inner, he's just trying to, channel his inner marksman. Just once he finds out those the rest of the two players, it's just going to be huge for him. But I think team threats will eventually get it once his location comes out, mainly because of the man disadvantage, right?
Yeah, definitely the man disadvantage is going to be there. It will be quite tough for the immortal guy, but yeah, he's still surviving. He's still looking to the placements of the player. Well, his aim, or should I say his angles, are not that adequate to be honest for Tokyo. But yeah, he might be lurking in the shadow. He's actually trying his level best to just survive and maybe maintain his own position at the same point. But the circle is getting shifted, and due to that, team threats have to just regroup and once again be a bit more inside the territory of Immortal's perspective. But it won't be easy to be honest, for sure. There are going to be some tough moments for Tokyo. It's a 1v2 situation, but seems like that Spicy Aka and Hamdu have got an idea how they have to play. They are actually being close to each other so that even if a single guy gets sacked off, the other one can actually retaliate or maybe get the trade fire for themselves. Now, the utilities are being used up on a number of trees that are there in the zone, and the trees are actually creating a beautiful art of deception for Tokyo. So, yeah, let's see how far he's going to survive in this battle.
Yeah, well, that's a problem, because even though he has a lot of trees that team threats needs to still focus on to, like once they get it, it's all over. I mean, Tokyo has done his job. He, at least on the bright side, has secured second place. So it's always about the points that matters, right? Team threats, on the other hand, they just got an important kill. They did remove digital athletics out of the play, which led to team threats not only removing the one important player, but also securing the kills too. Tokyo's information will definitely be given away. A lot of flash being used. Here comes the gunfights. Hammed will secure the
Ooh,
kill, and there you go. Winner, chicken dinner. Match number 3 is going to go at the hands of the team threats.
amazing battle, indeed. Amazing formation coming from Team Threads. But then again, have to give kudos to the guy from Immortal. Tokyo was actually the last man standing, was able to take one down. But yeah, the way Threads were performing, the way Threads were actually playing in the game, they were trying to be in a closed circuit so that even if one single guy was tagged out, the other one can retaliate, another one can give that counter attack. And that's exactly what happened. The counter attack coming from Team Threads was unmatchable from Tokyo's perspective. He had the Beryl, if I'm not wrong, and obviously Beryl is a good gun. But then again, in a mid range or in a long range, you can't actually create a lot of buzz with it because that recoil is way too high. Along with that, the spray transfer was there coming from Tokyo's perspective. He was trying to create that space transfer, but eventually it was a bit too late because the other guy was way too focused. And while Tokyo was playing, he was in a crouch mode, I guess. So that is why his head was a bit more clear for the other guy, and due to the ridge perspective, I guess some easy shots were landed from the perspective of Team Threats, and that's how the chicken dinner came in the perspective of Team Threats. So in the first map, we had a different team. That's specific, if I'm not wrong. In the second one, we had a different team. That's full auto. And in the third one, we have a new team. And as a caster, I'm just enjoying this competition. I just wanted to see some new teams outshining each other. And that's exactly what we are getting at this point. Newer and newer faces are coming into the play. And in turn, the overall standing after the 5 match gets over, when we will see the overall standing, we'll get to see a huge buffer or also a huge cat and mouse chase in the overall standing.
Yeah, absolutely, Raider. In a game of players unknown battlegrounds, even though everything is random, it always depends on how well you'd take care of that situation, how well you'd adapt it, and end up securing that important win. Unfortunately for Team Pacific Esports, they did got themselves caught out very quickly on training rooms aside, but nonetheless, we will find another victory for Team Threats. I mean, all three maps we have. Three different teams. We have Team Pacific Esports, Team Full Auto, and now Team Threats, who will secure map number 3. Now we'll be taking a short little break once again as we proceed to map number 4, Miramar. Until then, go get yourself hydrated. We'll be right back.
Well, indeed, we are back once again at the Zotac Cup of World Player Unknown's Battleground. Well, if I'm not wrong, we are already at the verge of seeing some new evolution into the teams coming up from qualifiers too. There are some new faces coming into the play. There are new aggression. The ways the teams are actually becoming aggressive is absolutely amazing. In the Wrangle map, they are starting with a very calculative move. They are trying to be in the zone as soon as the zone comes in, and after that, somewhere around I guess 15-minute marker hits. Teams are trying to be chaotic after that. Teams are trying to just eliminate the players. But before that, let's talk about the match standings as well. And yeah, despite of having the chicken dinners, Team Threats is lurking at the third position, not even at the second, because Immortals had the highest amount of kills. Oh, not the highest amount of kills, but yes, 12 significant kills from their perspective. And the second placement is actually going to boost their position to the first in the match standings. Digital Athletics on the other corner, which went out, I guess, at fourth position, is still actually going to have the second position in the match standing because they had 13 eliminations. That's quite good. Gobus and Threads had the similar amount of frags, 16 and 11 points respectively. Havocs on the other corner, 10 points. Kudos to Havocs for being a consistent team once again. I'm happy about that. Brotherhood, 6 points. Team Anything, 3 points. 1453 is actually going to have 2 points. Who are the esports also goes for the 2 points. For terrorists also with 2 points. Full auto with one. Same goes for Team Pro. Other than that, 13 delay, 8 Unity esports, Team Elite, Team Pacific esports went out way too early with just the kind of insight of playing that particular matchup. Not even a single points in their favor. 8 Unity esports, I was expecting a lot from their corner. I was expecting that 8 Unity esports is going to become another Hivex, which is a consistent one. But no, 8 Unity esports in the third map was unable to be fruitful. I really hope in the map of Miramar things will change for them as well.
Yeah, we just have to wait and watch. But once again, on Miramar, it was usually a lot of long range gunfights. And also, if you take a look at the standings itself, we had teams like Digital Athletics, Unity Esports, Full Auto, who had maximum amount of points. But being consistent is exactly what you need to be careful about. And Team Hivix is doing
Yeah,
exactly that. Although they didn't secure a lot of chicken dinners, at least securing one should be the first thing that they need to focus about. Let's not forget they have a total of 15 matches in play, right? Today we'll
yeah,
be able to stream around 5 matches in total for today. So at least securing one chicken dinner per 5 matches. So out of 15 matches, at least securing three and being consistent both at the same time to make sure that they can have a perfect leaderboard as it should be, that would definitely help them, not only boost their chances of being in the grand finals, but making sure that they have a strong foundation in the qualifiers itself. As we take a look at the matches once again, Wrangle first match, it was Pacific Esports who secured an amazing kills. I mean, total of 11 kills, followed up with huge potential of scores. The same thing could also be said for Full Auto as well, gaining high ground potential on Miramar. And once again, we will see Team Threats doing a really good flank maneuver in the final phase to secure the final kill. So now, match number 4, we are going back to Miramar once again, the places where
yeah,
all the teams need to be careful about. I mean, let's face it, you have so many long angles that either one team gets to fight another. Next thing you know, out of nowhere, in 300 or 400 meters, you'd find another sniper who's just trying to engage the gunfight right towards you. It's a map where you need to be careful on all the sides instead of being
yeah,
focused on one place, because that's exactly how Miramar works. Even if you're inside the circle or outside the circle, any shots that could arrive right in front of you or right behind you, anything can happen on a map like Miramar. So making sure that you have control on high ground is very important and crucial, but also you also need to make sure that you have necessary loots. Smoke grenades important for blocking line of sight, and also let's not forget you'll be able to help your teammates back up on his feet. But enough waiting, let us proceed to match number 4. Miramar's been opened up, and so are the 16 teams, all prepped and ready to dive down into a map of Miramar. But this time, the if you look at the plane's trajectory, it's going all the way towards Los Leones and maybe in towards Junkyard too. So it's going to be an important places which is going to happen all the way towards El Hazohar and maybe in towards Picado. Los Leones will be the biggest contestant that we're going to expect now. And also, you can still get to see Team Hivix already dropping down from that specific spot. So we just have to wait and watch and see which team will secure chicken dinner on match number 4. So without further ado, let's just jump into the game and see what the players are up to.
Yeah, I have to look into that particular fight as well. And apart from all the other things, I believe Monte could be contested once again. Other than that, Pacific Esports is trying to take a safe drop location that is beyond the areas of Al-Azhar. They can easily sneak up and get some amazing loot. Celtic on the other corner from Pacific Esports is going to go ahead and get the buggy because it's obviously going to help him a lot while rotating. And this is the most fuel efficient vehicle. If we talk about a 4x4 vehicle. So yeah, four-wheel vehicle in that particular perspective, I guess definitely buggy is actually going to give him the edge of rotating way too further. But that is not going to be the
True.
case for Pacific Esports because they are pretty close to the circle at this point, and they might just roam around, get those utilities from single compounds. And now we are looking at one of my favorite places to drop in this game, in the map of Miramar, and that's Picardo. The heart of Miramar is already here. The arena, in that particular arena, we have two players, Hamdur and the other guy that is going to be Abdullah, I believe. Abul Mir, yeah, both of them are there. In the red building, we have Stello. In Casino, we have got some other player from Team 4 Terrorists, that is Baghdad. And in the five-story building, we have some more players, two more players to be precise, from the team known as T14 or Team 4 Terrorist. L-shape building is pretty much vacated at this point. Nobody is approaching that building, so that's kind of decent. But yeah, having the advantage of the red building is obviously going to give Stello a brilliant idea of where the players are rotating and how they are rotating. Meanwhile, if you also want to perform the way the teams want to perform, you can actually have the advantage of RTX 4070, which is the powering party for this particular cup. Make sure to go ahead and check out all the details given in the description. And also, if you are actually going to buy a graphic card that is RTX 4070, you might actually go to the official side of Zotac and register it so that you can get the extended warranty of 5 years.
Yep, 5 years warranty on a graphic card. It's actually a good deal. I'm not gonna lie, folks. Just go ahead,
Mhm.
check it out. Link is in the description. Get yourself a brand new 4070. But now let's just focus back on the game. The 4 Terrace has already figured out one of the players' location, and turns out there's a lot of damage happening right from that specific spot. Go, Sarah. Here's the sound of the buggy as it's trying to engage in that gunfight. We'll be able to tag some minor damage, but not at all. His location will be given away though. At least on the bright side, you'll be able to get a secondary weapon, barrel, and maybe a second weapon that involves a 5.54 ammo at least. Long range, good for engaging in long range gunfights. So Mini 14 would definitely help him in at least making to having been sorry being able to poke around 300 or 4 meters 400 meters damage. So it's a great weapon, but also you still got to be careful on the location wise as well. Jakush, on the other hand, from the side of D4 Terrace, has already figured out the location of TA's end. A lot of damage being taken around from both the sides. Not a single player has been made a decision to go very aggressive, just pokes all the way. There's some minor peaks of damage being dealt around from the DMRs that's been happening right now. The MK12, maybe that's the maybe it's just the Mini 14 weapon that Abu has at this moment. Some heals will be made. Chahood is way deep within enemy's territory and is thinking of going in for a huge flank attempt. He's got to be very careful, so he needs to bring his teammate as well if he needs to go in for a huge play. Shots will be made. Chaku's taking major damage. And Abul Mir is just trying to make sure that he would give as less info as possible, so that the rest of his team could do the exact same thing. Meanwhile, let's just focus on DA's end. They will secure one kill. Ryu will be downed out, and just like that, we will see a lot of gunfights happening in long range still. That's the beauty about Miramar. It's always long range no matter what. So it's best to have vehicles that can provide you, good protection from lines of sights. And once you're in top of the mountains, it's best to have control in that mountain instead.
Yeah, indeed, but at this point, look at Digital Athletics. They were trying to push forward, but Elite had a complete full stop at that point. Laron has been taken down. Let's see how Oiling Hand, Triple Nine, VHP, and Newt are actually going to answer back to this mayhem that was there. From the back end, I guess 1453 is already tagging the players of Digital Athletics, so that's not a good side to watch out because now the team is actually in a sandwich situation, which is in turn going to impact a lot of spirits. So look at Triple Nine of BHP getting attacked from the rooftop. Not a lot of HPs, just one nade could end the story of this particular guy. But I don't think so. Utilities are there for the other team because if the utilities would have been there already, all the utilities would have been used up by Team Elite. But yeah, Gobus is Needix finds a beautiful mini 14 tap shot and was able to take down one from 1453 to be precise, and that's Ryu who had been taken down. At this point, Triple Nine BHE is finding it hard to find a beautiful angle because in front of him there is a guy with a red dot and an AUG, which is again a very chaotic gun. which which initially, when we talk about the initiation of PUBG, was there in the care packages, but right now AUG3 is lurking and maybe lying down here and there. Oh, that nade, man! That nade coming from Erling Hand was absolutely amazing. With that nade, with that opening, definitely this is the opportunity that DA was missing, and now they have got the opportunity. Now they've got an angle. They can easily shut down the players coming from Team Elite. Although revival is something the other guy is just waiting for. The other guys from Elite are also trying to regroup so that they can actually help and assist in that revival. More and more nades are coming into the play. Look at that, more space, and that's it. One more good headshot. Kaboom has been taken down. Another nade. Kaboom is actually going to go kaboom. That's exactly what happened. At the same time, if we talk about triple nine, BHP has been taken down, completely shut down. Cobra is hunting players one by one, but still the retaliation was on point coming from DA's perspective. Yes, Digital Athletics was good in the previous matchup. They were able to secure somewhere around 17 points, but in this one, again, the downfall of this team is looking a bit more clear because look at that. Just two players are surviving, and there are multiple teams aiming onto these guys.
Yeah, at this point, the Team Elite, even though they did secure at least 2 kills in map number 4, this is definitely not good. This will definitely not good in the standings itself. I mean, if you take a look at the whole three matches that we've had, Elite has yet to make a point, and the only player that is alive right now from Elite is Deadly. Deadly is the only one who's alive right now, and the only thing that he could think about right now is to make sure to be at least in top 10 positions, to make sure that they could have at least some points left for them to survive in Group B. But if you take a look at digital athletics, they are looking absolutely amazing, man. I'm not gonna lie. Brotherhood, on the other hand, will definitely meet Pacific Esports on a long range gunfight. They will secure 1 kill. So is Celtic. He'll ensure he will confirm a down, but the main problem has to be a Pacific Esports itself, because Brotherhood has the high ground potential, and even though if they do secure it down, they could just easily pick their teammates back up. But the same thing cannot be said for Pacific Esports too. The same thing cannot be said for Pacific Esports as well, because they're at a very major disadvantage. So the only optimal solution is to fight them head on, try to equalize the high ground potential, and try to see whether if any nades could just catch them off guard, maybe a flashbang to block the certain line of sight, just try to go in at an aggressive pace. But Pacific has already lost one of their players, and Brotherhood, I mean, if you just look at it right now, they're on the top of the world. They can see every single thing on the map, on the building. I wouldn't say on the map, I'd say on the building, but they still don't know the exact location on PCF's location. So they will secure one. Brotherhood just has all the info they need. They're just not going to give away their positions just yet. They're just going to calculate exactly, because you also need to worry about bullet drops too. So they're looking good.
Yeah.
But the same thing cannot be said for the rest of the players, though, especially from GB's and where there's only 2 players left.
Yeah, and both of them have to survive for a longer period of time if they want to maintain the consistency for the team. What is happening? Nedex is not even moving. Is he even aware that there are people shooting onto him? Oh no, Robus is actually alive with the 4-man power. We did saw for a brief time period that there are other two
Oh,
players which are surviving. For Brotherhood, well, there is a very beautiful, insightful advantage for them while climbing on this particular hill. But then again, if the zone gets shifted, they will be getting tagged by multiple teams while rotating, while dropping down from these hills. They might just go down and they might just get knocked out. If they have vehicles in their perspective, then it will be a bit more easier for them. Other than that, Pacific Esports is already on the move. Celtic is trying to just go ahead and rotate a bit more into the particular circles because the phase 2 is about to get taken down. It's in just 1 minute and 26 seconds. So before that circle shrink comes in, this guy wanted to just be away from here and have a safe rotation, to be honest. So Pacific Esports wants to be a consistent one, but eventually in 2 maps, Pacific Esports was unable to find their own grassroots opportunities, because if you guys remember in the second match, that was Miramar, they had only 2 points, only 1 point I believe, and in the next one they had 0 points. Oh, look at that. Mirado is rotating through the open spaces, but Digital Athletics are getting tagged up from multiple corners. Already the vehicle is in smokes. It could be in fire very soon, but the Carnage shot did not connect. Gosara, the exact guy which was able to had the advantage of P90 gun that was there in the clay package, is there with the Carnage and a POG 3. That's good. Davix Profess has been taken down by the MK12. Coming from Gobus's perspective, Kukachin is going to just completely shut him down, finish him off.
Oh,
Oh, this was a tough one. This was a tough one. Retaliation is there. Erlinghand is actually going to survive at this point, but the last guy is also going to get shut down with that. The elimination for Digital Athletics is already there at 16th position. 4 frags, 16 position. That means just 4 more points for them in this particular matchup. Again, would love to say, uh, beautiful aggressive team went out way too early.
yep. Definitely an unexpected moment to be there, because when both vehicles just crossed together, they only had to attack. They had no other choice. And let's once again, it's Team Anything, which was Nocturnal, by the way, folks. If you guys are wondering who Team Anything is, currently they just had a change in name for today itself. But for now, Abu Mir definitely not looking good. He'll be downed out, so has to figure out a way to try to handle out the situation. But it's a 1v2. Full aggressive pushes will be made. Attempt of a hip fire, but instead he'll get caught off in the process. Still, 2 players remain. Hivex is in a very bad spot out in the open. They can only rely on smokes and maybe some vehicles to provide some, protection of line of sights. And Team Gobus is just making sure that they would not escape by taking out those tires. Now, Hivex, they're just, on the bright side, you could say that Hivex is still alive with just 15 teams remaining in phase 2. But I couldn't say the same thing for Digital Athletics, though. They just got caught off guard. And Pacific Esports, who were having a constant fight outs between Team Brotherhood, who's, let's not forget, they still have the high ground control. And they can just look every single place. Crone, my god, he's just taking quite a lot of damage from Brotherhood's end. Secures one. The second kill will also be given too. Man, this positioning, though, from Brotherhood is just so powerful. I'm pretty sure they got themselves the parachute ability, which enabled them to head in towards that position. So the only counter to it has to be the circle itself. The circle determines where Brotherhood could be in that position, and if Brotherhood gets lucky, then I would say that they have a higher chances of securing the chicken dinner as well, but just by being in that position.
Oh, another nade. Yes, Team Anything is trying to find a safe haven at this point. Eventually, get the eliminations done. Ace 32 is the gun that he's relying on. Oh, despite of being stunned, this guy was actually on point with his fire rate and also the aiming formation. 8 United Esports is actually losing one good player. Another one is pushing forward. What a beautiful weekend fire coming to the play. Some more nades. Oh, he's going to stun himself. That's interesting. Oh, another nade comes in. The answer is here. The team has been shut down, and that was Team Anything who has been eliminated for now. If I talk about teams like Gobush, they are here with 2 amazing eliminations. It was in the hands of Neelix and Lemmy as well. Have to see what Kukachin and Grizzly Beer's partner is going to cook up in this particular matchup. Well, again, M79, a very beautiful launcher is there in the hands. Indeed, I would love to see how that output is going to help the team. But 14 teams, 48 players are surviving. 15-minute marker is about to get hit. That means halfway of this journey of this particular map is already about to be over. But still, just 2 teams have been eliminated, and somewhere around, I believe, 16 players have been eliminated. Other than that, all the other teams are just trying to be on the edges of the zone, trying to gatekeep the players. Broad, which Yami was able to take one round from Who Are They Kathy. So that's interesting. Team W80, or should I say Who Are They, are actually getting affected a lot. Get that beautiful vehicle coming to the play. Have to rotate, and at the same time, have to be vigilant enough so that the other guy from other team could not actually trace him out of the equation.
Yeah, this time Team Gobus will immediately. I'm pretty sure Team Gobus is just focusing on the rest of the line of sight, but the main problem still has to be Brotherhood, though. Full Auto, on the other hand, I think they know the location of Team Watts' location. I believe they do now. Quick step. I think he's still aware that one team might be in the position that he's looking for, but also he needs to be careful on, the gunfights. That's it's constantly annoying the rest of the teams. Brotherhood has just good cover. Good positionings too. Wait a minute, what just happened? Immortal. Oh boy. I believe he just rammed with the vehicle in and secured so much kills from that. Okay, that is what an interesting one. But still, let's not forget about Full Auto, though. They did secure Miramar, and I'm pretty sure that in map number 4, there is highly likely a chance that it could happen. That could go still in the hands from there. And Deadly, my god. Oh boy. Kukachin just sees Deadly's locations very low on HP. And there you go. Elite will be eliminated. 13th place, at least on the bright side. But yeah, he was the only player left. and unfortunately he had to meet an unfortunate death. I mean, he was stuck with. I mean, there was like two squads trying to fight with that one player who was just trying to run away from that building. Unfortunately, it was too late.
That's pretty much right. Gopis on the other corner. Let me find some beautiful KO and also a retaliation from Team 4 Terrorist to be precise is actually about to come in. Let's see how Zotac is going to come up with the retaliation. Shahood has to be taken down. Some more sprays. The Scarl is working its way. Definitely, I believe the aggression is going to pave the way for Team Immortals. In the previous matchup, they were unable to get the chicken dinner, but seems like that in this one, they are going to shut down every single team that is there in front of them. Five amazing tracks for that, guys. Looking forward to the sixth one. But yes, I believe Immortals is the team which is quite chaotic, quite aggressive, have the right idea how to spray down the players and eventually when to spray down, when to use utilities and stuff like that. So that's actually impressing me a lot at the same time. Havix on the other corner. Um, Warder 10 is there. Alan is going to be there. While rotating, 8 United Esports is actually going to get tagged up quite a bit. Those were some good tap shots, but eventually, at the same time, some good jiggles coming from Mod side, and that's why he was able to survive through those deadly damages coming from the other guy.
And that was too close for comfort. But at least he'll be happy knowing that he's alive, and now he has the information to be careful around. Oh, Dubai, definitely not looking good. The Molotov definitely burnt him to a crisp, and Team Bot will definitely try to make use of that advantage. But Tarek is still here for the suppressive fire, hoping that he would save his teammate, and eventually he does finds the first. But unfortunately, he will not get the second. Lots of damage being dealt around. Waterton gets caught out from the shots that's been dealt around from the other side. And now Brotherhood, they are still in that same place that they were in like 2 to 3 minutes ago. That position is just so important that they have somehow secured 2 kills from Hivex and Pacific Esports. They are going to be very, they also will be having a tough time dealing with the situation. 10 teams alive. We are now entering phase 4. And I'm pretty sure that this will be major problems that's going to happen from the rest of the team because Brotherhood, once again, if you look at the purple side on your top right corner of the screen, that's exactly where Brotherhood is. And once again,
Yeah.
Team WAT, they're just doing a great job on neutralizing the important players that's happening right now from those close range combats. Pacific, they still got to be careful. Hivex, they are still alive, but the problem is there's just only 2 players left. But on the bright side, they are still holding their grounds because we are now entering the top 10 teams here.
Yeah, definitely top 10 teams and eventually 30 places surviving. Tiska finds a beautiful KO on Who Are They's drone. And the KO was there with the MK12. It's a very good gun. 7.62 ammo being utilized at this point. The damage is actually going to be on higher side as compared to the Mini 14s. So yeah, indeed, a good choice by the guy. Moving forward, Hivex is having the M4 with the beautiful canted side as well. Again, getting damaged up as I answer back from Pacific Esports. They're not letting it go that easily. At the same time, remember guys, this is Zotac Cup and it is powered by the beautiful RTX 4070. Why I'm talking about the beautifulness or the aesthetics of this particular graphic cards? Because remember guys, there is a collaboration going on with the Spider-Man across the Spider-Verse. If you are a fan, you can actually go ahead and purchase that. And also if you want to just use that graphic card for a number of years, you can go ahead and register that particular graphic card in the official site so that you can get the advantage of 5 years of warranty. But at the same time, coming back to the game, we have multiple KOs coming in. Who Are They was looking good. At the same time, they're also suffering quite a bit. At the other corner, if we're talking about 8 Unity Esports, the last man standing is actually stuck in a single story compound, in a double story compound to be precise, but it is way too secluded. If it decides to rotate, the other guy from Gobus is just completely going to shut him down. At the same time, if we're talking about 13 delay, Virus is there, Yeha is there, and Snipeball. 3 players stuck on the ridge, trying to survive, trying to move into the zone, although it won't be that easy. Look at that. If I talk about the mini map, you can clearly see they are stuck outside the edge of the circle. So let's see how they're going to find their way in the circle.
Yeah, 13 delay will definitely have a hard time if they cannot figure out a way to remove Team Gobus. Good damage being dealt around from Yeha. It will force one of the players to force in for a healing animation, so that will give some time for 13 delay to reposition and go towards the same place. But unfortunately, they have to cross the road with no cover. No lines, no cover. They'll be out in the open, and it's a perfect opportunity for Team Gobus to just remove them out one by one. So if they have to be safe, they have to figure out another route or a way to be, to proceed towards the next phase as safe as possible, and also hopefully trying to remove the players out and make sure that they can have good amount of kills from their end. It's up to their decision. They still need to figure out a way on how to deal with that long range shots that's been happening around from Brotherhood's end. One player from Brotherhood has been dropped down to provide some information or maybe some minor distractions. PT is still alive. Team Threat, the team who has secured map number 3 Wrangle, they're also present in top 10. Team Pacific Esports, they're also present. So is Team Who Are They Fury, still alive, thank goodness, with the help of the smoke grenade that's blocking good amount of lines of sight, and some bullets unfortunately has been shot towards the tree, and that definitely did not expected that to happen. But on the bright side, you still got to be careful on the circle itself. There's a lot of squads in one particular city, which is going to cause a lot of chaos. 13 delay. They have to pass through the streets, which is going to be a difficult thing for them. Very bad positionings. And Yeha, last man standing, and they will be eliminated too at the hands of Hivex. Ahlan and Boom Billy Boom Boom. They are still alive, and they're being such, they're being consistent on not only staying alive but also getting as good kills as possible. 9 teams remain, 13 delay, an unexpected circle for them to be in a situation like that. But at least on the bright side, they will secure 10th position. But what's going to happen on the rest of the 9 teams? That's the biggest question here.
Yeah, too many questions, but I believe very soon the answers are going to get clearer as soon as the circle is going to shift, because this is the phase number 6, and already I guess 30% of the area is still in the circle, but then again, that 70% of the area which was there of Impala in the circle is already out of equation. So yes, the teams are actually going to have a tough time rotating out of those compounds to an open space, and then eventually they're going to get tagged up from those teams which are lurking in the roof areas, or maybe in the higher areas in the hills, stuff like that. So yeah, looking forward to see how they are going to play with it. Other than that, teams like Hivix are impressing us a lot. Pacific Esports is already on the edge of the circle, trying to make the play. Team Threat on the other corner, the one which was able to secure a beautiful victorious game in the previous matchup. 16 points, that's what they got in that particular match where they were able to secure the chicken dinner. But right now, seems like that they're going to go way too early, because Hivix have got an idea where the players are, and they are cooking up some decent nades in decent locations that could just find a beautiful KO, and that's exactly what happened. Fury has been popped off with that nade. Last one is actually going to be on edge. I highly doubt it at this point that Team Threats is going to make a bigger play. 3F06, that's the last one standing. Multiple smokes, multiple utils being used up, and Hivix is completely pushing forward. Team Threats, I guess, definitely have been eliminated. So yeah, with that, they are. Havoc is definitely going to have the advantage of having 2 frags, and along with that, they're going to utilize all the utilities that is going to be there in the crates. At the same time, we have Pacific Esports. Teams like Immortals are also surviving, I believe, and Full Auto is also surviving. That clearly showcases us that there are many teams which have got the potential of having the chicken dinner at this point. So saying that this particular team is quite advantageous is going to be an understatement for all the other teams which are there with the manpower.
Yeah, absolutely, Raider. The only difference is who's going to get the chicken dinner first. I mean, you still have major teams who have already secured chicken dinners, and that is Pacific Esports and also Full Auto, who are still alive and still in the game, and they are hoping to secure it as best as possible. I actually forgot about Immortals too. Although they didn't secure chicken dinner, they at least secured first place by having maximum amount of kills, and that's exactly what they require. Pacific Esports, once again, major damage being dealt around. Still alive, but the same cannot be said for Mord, because Ahlan, specifically from Hivex, my god, they are just only 2 players. I mean, 2 players left, and Team Hivex are just dealing major damage towards them. Smokes, once again, blocking line of sight. Group 7 knows exactly where these 2 players are heading towards, and that is the control of high ground potential. It's going to be tough for Pacific Esports because they're currently inside the building. The only difference has to be the circle. Which team will it favor to once phase 7 comes into play? He's going to find that out in 5 seconds. Meanwhile, as we take a look at Full Auto's perspective, actually, not Full Auto's perspective. Yeah, it is Full Auto's perspective. They have secured 1 kill. Now, you just have to wait and watch. Phase 7 is in, and once again, still favoring for Brotherhood, though, because he's still in the middle of the map. But I believe he's the only one left from Brotherhood's end. I'm pretty sure they had good high ground control for the past 3 to 4 phases, but now since the circle has to shift in towards the other place, Brotherhood was forced to change their positionings, and I believe once they were trying to reposition, they got themselves caught out. 7 teams remain. Full Auto knows the location of Immortals' place. Major damage being dealt out from Overlord's Mini 14. Still alive and kicking. Ahlan once again. I'm seeing a lot of kills coming in from Hyvex's end. A lot of kills. And this could mean very much from Hyvex because they're being consistent. They've at least securing 5, 4, or 3 positionings, but never a chicken dinner. So this could mean a lot if Hyvex do secure that important kill. Ahlan once again removing the player off from Pacific Esports. Group 7 will be downed out, which will force Pacific Esports for a decision whether to revive the player or just stay intact. Don't take the bait, play for the circle, and hope to get the kill. Gobus, on the other hand, 10 kills in total. And Fulodos, they're still alive, but he's getting shot from someplace else. And that is just Oza, right from behind. Some major damage being dealt around, and Immortal, my god, they're definitely not looking good at all. The same thing can also be said for FA2. Retaliations will be made, and a full shot attempt from the AUG that will catch Tiska off guard. Downs will be made. It's just Oza. He's all by himself. Can Trikush end the squad? No, he'll be downed instead. Immortals, amazing performance from Trikush. He downs two. I mean, he eliminates one, he downs one, he almost gets the squad wipe. But unfortunately, it was a bit too late. But Immortal, I mean, quick step, he might have something else to reply back. But if this happens, though, this could be huge for Full Auto.
And yeah, there we go. Another knockout coming to the play, coming from the other team, Immortal. There are some throwables being used up. Rikosh is about to get taken down with that particular throwable, but the trade fire is also going to be there, and that's exactly what happened. Just over now becomes the last one. The ray of hope is still there for Team Immortals, and same goes for Full Auto as well. But the gun MK14 is not going to cut the deal, and with that, it's done and dusted from Wadu. The SLR worked out way too well. Immortals have secured 10 amazing finishes, and I'm still surprised to see Hyvex is surviving. Hyvex, this beautiful team, is again finding their way to the top 5. So mesmerizing, to be honest. I can bet that despite of not having a single chicken dinner in their favor, they are still going to be in the top 3 at the end of the day, the way they're performing, because they have consistently performed well. Having, I guess, 10 to 15 points in a single match individually is a good thing, but just maintaining that consistency of having 10 to 15 points in a single match every now and then is actually going to help Hyvex a lot while pushing their positions on the top. Yes, chicken dinner is something which is obviously demanded a lot by the fans and also by us casters. We really want to see a chicken dinner coming from that particular team, although chicken dinner is not an easy task to come up with. Immortals on the inside, Wadu with 3 amazing cracks is also trying to lurk here and there. Gobuso with a full manpower could be that team which is going to secure the chicken dinner, but look at Bro. That means Brotherhood. Ha, that's interesting the way he's playing. He could be the element of surprise for Pacific Esports.
He's just playing it safe because he's the only player left. And the same thing can also be said for Hyvex. I can only see Boom Boom still being present. And I don't think it's going to be a 2v2. No, actually, it is. Boom Boom's been eliminated, which leads to Ahlan being the only player left. Lots of damage being dealt around, and Team Gobus will switch to a different team instead, because Immortals is also doing the same thing, trying to engage the gunfight in some place else. He doesn't have the proper information on the player's whereabouts. They still have control on high ground potential. There's a lot of players currently inside the building, and yet they still need to get those kills. But finally, we see Team Hyvex being eliminated, and once again being consistent by securing 5th place, which leads to the top 4 teams. Nedex finds one of the players, but somehow Joe Man stays alive. And this is going to be huge for them, because currently you could say that Team Gobus is currently the one who has the advantage, not when it comes to getting control on the high ground, as well as all 4 squads still being alive and making sure that they could find every single possible information that they could. But this could be huge. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Team Gobus can have the potential of securing this chicken dinner. Pacific Esports, on the other hand, they're also thinking of the same thing. They did secure 1. Maybe securing the 4th could be huge, and that grenade from Toygar definitely catches off Grizzly off guard. This could be huge. And a 2nd. Okay, interesting. Took a chin from Team Gobus will secure 1 as well from the P90. especially when you have the ghillie suit too. It's going to be difficult to spot that one specific player as well. Now here it is, phase 9. Oh boy, Team Gobus are currently the one who has the high ground advantage. They don't have any other choice but to move upstairs and through the wall of death. And Brotherhood,
Uh,
unfortunately, he gets picked out as well. Number 3, it's now up against Team Gobus versus Team Immortals. Who's going to win it? Let's find out.
Immortals are again coming and facing the similar, I guess, situation that they were facing in the initial matchup, if you guys remember. But yeah, that was a very good damn headshot coming from Tokyo's corner. Now, Tokyo wants to do a 1v3. Let's see how fruitful will he be with those terms coming to the play. Ah, man, Edix, a beautiful spray indeed. Two players have been taken down. It's all about Joma. I guess that's the last man
Joma.
standing. He's trying to
Yeah.
yeah, Joma. He's trying to survive. He's trying to get an idea how he will be able to retaliate. Meanwhile, the players, the teammates who have been knocked out, are already giving the information cues to his teammate. But it's just not going to be enough because he has to peak. He has to take down the both of the players. And Gobus having that height advantage and also zone preferring them is the best part for the guys. Let's see how far will they be able to go. Multiple stuns, man. Now the push is going to be there. Look at that. The rampage push is coming into the play. P90's Risky Sparta has been taken down. And that's it. That's it. A winner chicken dinner comes from Gobus's perspective. Again, a fresh new face for us is here. And that is Gobus. With some decent frags in their favor. I don't think so that the frags are more than 10. But then again, a decent amount of frags were there. A decent amount of angle was in the favor of Gobus's perspective. And yeah, they were able to shut down Pacific Esports. They were able to shut down Brotherhood, if I'm not wrong. And at the end, they were able to take down the whole trio of immortals. And that's the best part. You are able to take down the enemies despite of having the height advantage, despite of becoming the center of attraction for a brief time period. We did so when the four teams were surviving. Two good members from Global Esports was already knocked out. And it was not possible for them to go ahead and drop down and eventually come up with a revival. So what they did was just had that patience, played pretty much in a calm fashion, and eventually at the end they were able to take down the players from Immortals because they did a small mistake of peeking onto them, and that too from the lower ridge. Because when you do that, your head is pretty much visible, and just one or two good headshots can do the job. That's exactly what happened.
Yep, that's exactly what happened on Miramar. It's always about getting the high ground advantage. I mean, at the first one to phase 5, it was Brotherhood who had the high ground advantage, and then second it was Team Gobus who almost had around 10 to 11 kills, if I remember properly. But I could say the same thing about Immortals too. I mean, in the previous matchup in Erangel, we saw Team Immortal securing second place, but yet they did went past Team Threats. Although they did secure chicken dinner, it was Team Immortals who put themselves on the top of the leaderboard on map number 3. Map number 4, I mean, we just have to wait and watch for the match standing, which we'll be able to see it in match number 5 itself. But I think if I have to talk about it, Immortals could be in second place, and the team who just secured chicken dinner, Team Gobus, could have could be able to secure first place itself. But if we did see Immortal secure first place, then I'm pretty sure that they would have maximum advantage from their end, knowing that in the first 5 matches, 2 matches where Immortal gains the upper hand in those certain situations. But for now, once again, folks, we will take a short little break as we will proceed with the final match for today, match number 5, which will be Erangel once again. So until then, take a short little break and we'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Zotac Cup presents Players Unknown's Battleground. And we are back with match number 5 for today's matchup itself. We have all 4 matches already been completed of Irangal and Miramar. And now let's take a look at the standings of match number
Whoa.
Team Gobus, who had secured 17 kills. My God, that is quite a lot of kills. I'm not going to lie. 17 kills in match number 4, in which they will secure a total of 27 points. Meanwhile, it's Immortals who will secure 10 kills with 16. At first, I thought it was Immortals who would have gotten more kills, but turns out it was Team Gobus who had secured that many kills. That is actually huge, man.
Sitting on the hilltop, having the eagle eye perspective, and shooting down everything which moves. That was the meta for Gobus, and eventually it paved off quite well for them. 27 amazing points. I believe that's a record which is quite decent. It might be getting breaking down in the grand finals, but before that, I really think that Gobus is the one team which is going to be quite aggressive throughout the way right now. Hivix again being consistent, that's quite impressive once again. Immortals with 16 points, Brotherhood with 9, who are they with 7, Full Auto with 5, at 8 Unity Sports with 5 as well, Pacific Esports with 4 points. So yes, multiple teams are there which are lacking in number of points, but let's talk about today's matches. The schedules are in front of us. Indeed, in the first map, we have Pacific with 23 points. Full Auto also went out for the I believe, 23 points. And if I talk about team threats, Irangle was the map where they were able to conquer it. And in that particular matchup, they had 16 points. Now, Gobus becomes the conqueror of the leaderboard, I believe, with 27 amazing points in their favor. Let's see who is going to be the new face, or maybe a face which is going to get repeated in the match number 5, because Immortals is still lacking a chicken dinner. And not just Immortals, I believe there is Hivix, which is also lacking a chicken dinner.
Mhm.
Team There are quite a few teams which are actually lacking the chicken dinner and are also performing. Even eight United Esports is also one of those teams I would love to see having a chicken dinner. Other than that, the rest remaining, I guess, 9 or 8 teams which I have not talked about, they are struggling at this point. They are unable to find their own grasp at this moment. But I believe slowly but surely, maybe day number 2, the day of comeback, will be there for them as a fruitful day.
Yeah, the one thing, the one team that I have to talk about has to be Team Elite because, oh man, these past 4 matches that I've seen from Team Elite, they're currently in maybe towards position 15 or 10, which is definitely not a good way to go down on the first day of second qualifiers itself. But ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Match number 5 for the second qualifiers is a go. We have all teams prepped and ready. And for today, we'll be having our final match of Wrangel. I'm pretty sure if you take a look at the plains itself, it's going all the way towards Lipovka, towards Primorsk. So it's going to be an interesting way to see which position will the team take control of first. I mean, you still have school, you still have Rozok. Yasna Poliana is definitely a great place to get a lot of lootable items. Also, you still have prison too. We still have to wait and watch. Military base will be, let's just say, it's out in the open. But if one of the squad do decides to, you know, take a vehicle and head in towards the military base, if the circle is near the base, then it could be very fruitful and powerful for them itself. But we just have to wait and watch for the circle to determine exactly where the place will be. But here we go. All players have been dropped down into a map Erangel with match number 5 being in play. Let's see who will get the chicken dinner.
Yeah, I mean, taking the chicken in is going to be really, really crucial. In order to end up the day in your favor, you have to have that last map in your favor, the chicken dinner. I'm talking about teams like Immortals, or maybe some other teams like uh, which were unable to survive, which were unable to take that kind of damage in their favor
Hmm.
and eventually come up with a chicken dinner. So looking forward to see how they're going to play against the competition, the school apart region or the Rozok region. There are few clashes, so looking forward to see how those clashes are also going to get resolved. There's digital athletics, which is going to fight with the team known as C40, or should I say the four terrorists. And the guns that they are actually getting are Vectors, SKSs, and M416s as well. M16 if sorry to be precise. Single tap shots could be quite credential. Ooh, Youth already gets a lot of damage because that 7.62 bullet damage is actually quite on point. And on the hindsight, the other guy was unable to dish out even a single SP damage onto the player. So looking forward to see how he's going to establish the dominance, how he's going to shut down players from last four terrorists. Athletics don't have that much HP, but still he's going to survive. Various windows of this particular house are being destroyed because the players know from which angle the player might actually peek. Holding hand. Waiting for the right opportunity, shut down Mogdad. That would be easy. He's stuck in a shack. He comes up in the out. Oh, just one or two shots. That could have been it. But still, the player survives. I don't think so. He's going to have a lot of first tickets for himself in this initial circle, but eventually he's still surviving. Some more SK shots could be coming to the play. Yeah, the shots are there, but still the connections was not there. Oh, a beautiful headshot. 62 HP has been taken down. Erling Hand might just save the day for the team.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see that Erling just swapped off the weapons from Mini 14 to a close range shotgun, which means that Digital Athletics are actually thinking of going gun ho. Gun ho, as in like close range combat, because Kuwait has already found one. Moktad, who was already been given an information from Erling Hand from long range. They will secure one because he was definitely caught in that one specific place. They still need to figure out to find the rest of the three players. With I believe Huet definitely did found Chakush's location. Just gonna be careful about this. F16 really great for applying that burst fire damage, and also great weapon. You still got to be careful about getting caught as well, because he only has a level 1 helmet. It's going to be really careful, because if he gets one tap to the headshot, that's going to be very problematic for him. So he's just going to wait for his team. You can see both Erlinghard are just arriving at that location, and Huet is already given that information on Chaku's whereabouts. It's going to be very tough, because he's going to be meeting with the rest of the two players who's going to attack. Smoke's been tossed around. No flashes or grenades just yet. But at this point, if Digital Athletics wants control of map angle, they have to get rid of T4T as fast as possible, because Team Elite, they're currently having their main focus towards T40 as well. They have information too, but they still don't want to give away their positionings just yet, unless and until if they have the confirmation.
Yeah, that's definitely a prudent game style coming to the play. But Elite on the other corner, Kaboom finds a beautiful headshot. With that, he was able to take down Lighton, and I believe Lighton is going to get finished off for sure. That's a beautiful third party situation coming in from Elite's perspective. The other guy that has been taken down has to get finished off soon enough. Digital Athletics are now going to suffer with a fatal loss, to be honest. But two kills are already there for them, and that's a good side to watch out for. But at the same time, 999 BHP is also there in the first story of this particular building. There is another guy lurking in the shadow who has been knocked out. His finish is actually going to be quite beneficial, and that's exactly what happened. Shahood has been taken down at the end. Three amazing finishes for Digital Athletics, and the last player which is there from that particular team is also going to get shut down pretty soon. But before that, we have Team Threats in a threat like Britain, and it's Team of Immortals which is returning the favors. Oh, look at that! Immortals are having fun at this point. Fury becomes the last one. He has got the M24, but is it going to be fruitful for him? I really doubt it at this point from that long range. That tap shot. Ooh, 58 HP. He was able to snatch out that amount of HP out of the players from Team Immortals, but still Immortals is going to live for another fight. The last man standing is about to get shut down pretty soon. There might be a total lockdown for the particular team. Hyvex on the other corner. Elan gets way too low on its HP, but Fluffus is there with the SKS in his hand. He might be able to find a beautiful flank angle with which 1453 might be in trouble. But Elan is going to first of all heal himself, water return with the Mini 14, with the 6x scope, could be the prudent guy, might be able to take one or two players down from the other team. Oh, trap shots are there, quite precise, but I believe there is some kind of cover, maybe a tree or a boulder in front of that particular player. That is why he's still surviving.
Yeah, at this point, the optimal solution for Hivex is to find a position which is favorable for them to, get good amount of cover. And unfortunately for Hivex, they're just way out in the open. So it's best to fall back instead of contesting in those gunfights. The same thing can also be said for 1453. Waterton just constantly, providing suppressive fire with the Mini 14. But unfortunately, not a single shot will be dealt with. But at least on the bright side, you could say it's just an attempt to see whether if he could land a shot or two. Maybe try to get a lucky headshot while he's traveling with the vehicle. But at this point, the only thing that he can do right now is just get some good items so that he can proceed with next phase with extra caution. Team Anything, on the other hand, contesting the gunfight up against Team 212. It's going to be a tough one for them, because Hamdar has already been dropped down from Unity Esports. Very explosive performance from Zelpue, as he will try to get the confirmation on the kill, swaps out from Mini 14, and he will confirm the kill of Hamdar. Now, This is going to be tough for 13 delay because only three players left. Pacific Esports, especially Roop, very close inside the building. They know that they're playing very close, but they still haven't opened up the doors yet. So they'll just use utilities instead. Molotovs, grenades, and now Yehia is actually thinking of maybe trying to remove this player out of the equation. But instead, the only thing that he could do is just give fake sound cues that would put a little bit of panic mode towards Pacific Esports' end. And turns out it's quite working out well for them. 13 delay. Yehia definitely secure two of the kills. And Group 7, he's definitely going in stealth. Nice and quiet. Doesn't want to give his location just yet. And once he finds his way, he could maybe find the important blow to the back that 13 delay will never expect. But turns out Yeha is very outside. I mean, he's all the way outside, so he's currently safe. Group 7, he finds one,
Oh,
definitely gets the down. Important one of that too. And now he just needs to stay safe. Secures one kill. Now, he just needs to remove Ye here. Celtic is also turned out. He's the only player left. He only secured one kill. This grenade could be huge, and Celtic could get caught off in the process. No, the grenade was a little bit I mean, it was in a different position, but Group 7 might be able
oh,
to get the best of it. No, he gets away to safety. Yeah, and he gets the opportunity. Jump peaks will be made, and Group 7 will get the final frag. Important. And 13 delay will be the first team who will be eliminated, and Group 7 could be the second too, but he will be safe. But Digital Athletics, oh man, they're not gonna let this one off that easily, folks. So
yeah.
Group 7, I wish you the best of luck, man.
The last man standing for the team is trying to actually stay away from the knees, trying to stay away from the utilities that are being used up onto him by Digital Athletics. But Erlinghand is actually looking quite aggressive. He wants to just shut down the player. Some more utils being used up. This nade could be chaotic. This nade could actually take a bunch of HP. That's exactly what happened. Look at that. I don't know what happened to PCF Roop 7 because he might have heard this audio of a need coming in that window, but still he didn't move. Maybe the pressure from the other guys pushing forward was there onto this guy. M79, again a very beautiful launcher being used. But yes, at the end, I would love to add on its athletics, which is looking aggressive in the border city. They are having the advantage of having 5 amazing frags in their favor. Who are they? Another beautiful, amazing squad from the ridges. They are trying to take down some good shots. This location, till that location, I don't think so. It's gonna be easy for them to just completely take down the players from Digital Athletics. Even if they get a knockout, I don't think so. The push will be that fruitful because while they are pushing, then a player will be revived up and be back in the formation. Remember, guys, the performance, the power of this particular cup is already coming from 4070 RTX 4070 by Zotac. So if you guys want to purchase it, if you guys want to enjoy, all the details are there in the description, and also with extended warranty while you register that particular graphic card in the official site of Zotac. Make sure to go for it. Make sure to check all the details that are given in the description. At the hindsight, we have a flight coming in, which is going to drop down some gear package, I believe, which might help the players. Immortals on the hindsight, despite of having the full manpower, they are unable to be that aggressive as they usually be in the earlier matches. But still, they have secured 3 amazing frags in 10 minutes, which is again quite a bit of a playoff. Oh, with a fake Dacia, they're trying to rotate with a fake taxi, trying to find an angle. Hivix might have actually landed some good shots onto them, and that is why the trajectory of the rotation is going to get shifted, and they are going to focus a bit more towards the school paths. I believe they're just hunting players at this point. Oh,
Oh
it's
man, that is
backfiring! It's
definitely
backfiring!
not good. Oh
Yeah.
boy, that has definitely got to hurt. And at least on the bright side, Elite will at least secure very important kills for them to stay back in the game and take out the important team too. Digital Athletics definitely did not expect this to happen. Two players already gone, and Elite was just playing it as patiently as possible. Proper crossfire angles and limiting players one by one. This will be huge for Team Elite as they can not only get two important kills, but also get some important utilities that they can stay alive for a longer phase. Dedeong, once again, is just prone in towards the stairs. Elite is currently looking strong on the fifth map, a fifth match that is. For the only thing that I have to be afraid of is Team Immortals and maybe Team Hivex. Hivex is still alive, even though they've lost at least a player or two. I think Hivex has all four players still alive. I'm not quite sure, but if Hivex do secures at least a maximum of phase 3 or phase 4, then maybe they could have a strong leaderboard standings in the first day of second qualifiers of Zotac Cup. It could be a higher possibility, but only time will tell once we reach the end phase of match number 5. And Elite, on the other hand, they're looking strong. They did secure 3 kills, but as we take a look at the recent, I wouldn't say recent, the other teams like Pacific Esports, Hivex, Threats, who are they, in which they are yet to, get their chicken dinner, right? Team Threats have already secured a chicken dinner. It's just that they couldn't get to be in the first place just yet. Oh boy, Abul Amir just hears the sound of the buggy and maybe he could
Oh,
get a kill or two. Oh boy. I think he just got absolutely annihilated from the M4 shot. And Scorpion just
oh,
figured out that Depp is actually using the parachute, but somehow he dodges all the bullets away from the AUG. Still stay alive. And Team Pro, he's still trying to contest this angle, man. Depp is just out in the
oh,
open. And he's still alive. Somehow he's still alive. Okay.
yeah.
Depp, he definitely has to be careful though once he lands it towards the building.
Oh
But
man,
oh man, that is such
it is
deadly
going to
maneuvers.
hurt.
20 HP. Depp, how are you still alive? How are you still alive? Oh man, that was too close for comfort. Depp is still alive. What a risky maneuver, but still he's just out in the open. I, I don't think he can stay alive because he's literally in the middle of a battlefield. Meanwhile, we see Elite eliminating players from Immortals. All right, this is looking promising.
Oh,
Wow. Okay, Team Elite, a squad wipeout. This is interesting. For the past 4 matches, we saw Team Elite having a very bad day, and then suddenly we see them coming back up on the 5th match itself. This is interesting. What an unexpected turns of events here.
yeah, indeed. I mean, everything is looking quite chaotic at this point. Every now and then, some other teams are trying to perform equally well. P90 once again getting concerned by Team Anything, and despite of having the advantage of the gear package, they've got their level 3 West helmet along with the ghillie suit, which is obviously going to help them in the near future. Let's see how they're going to perform. Let's see how their angles is going to help them, because the grasses that are there beyond the Pochinki are a little bit more on the pale side, and ghillie suit is not going to help him just completely disguise at that particular angle. But seems like that he might actually go for some ridges or some other location from which he can fight back, or maybe even rotate later in the later stages to be precise. That could be the play for Team Anything. But other than that, this is day number 1, match number 5 for Angle, and the phase number 3 is already about to get cumbersome. 15 minutes have been passed, just more 15 minutes, and after that, we'll get to know who is the champion of this particular matchup. The 5th one, the final one for the day number 1 of qualifiers number 2. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you are watching us on Loco. Make sure to follow us as well. On the other hand side, Abul Mir with the bike is just completely trying to get up rotations, and the reason why he is actually on the edges of the zone, because we know tracing on a bike is going to be a bit more easier for the other teams which are on the land area. So they can easily trace him down, or maybe just shut him down, or maybe watch this bike's tire. And if that happens, look at the guy with the Kupaji. Despite of having a four-wheeler, he is actually getting contested. He's unable to rotate. That's the kind of decimation that you usually expect from the guys. So yeah, definitely the damage is there. Definitely the punching scenario is going to be there. But look at that. Abul Mir and the other guy is already here, off to have the advantage of the mushroom tower. But there are some more nades, some more throwables which are going to get utilized. With that nade being thrown, I believe Abul Mir and his teammates are also going to be vigilant enough that there is an enemy in the close circuit. So now they have to be vigilant. Now they have to be ready with the counter attacks as well.
Yeah, they have to be very careful, especially once we saw that gunfight happening right outside the circle. Really, Team Gobus will be in a bit of a trouble if Full Auto figures out a way. Still outside the circle though, Full Auto. The only difference is that out of 12 teams in Phase 4, I'm actually surprised that all 4 players from Elite is still alive and still kicking. It's major damage being dealt around from Daddy Young. The same thing can also be said for Team Pro, Dubai. Adrenaline shot being used, that will put himself on 100 regenerative HP, so he should be fine. But that grenade though from Tiska definitely didn't work the first time, so the second grenade will be tossed out, hoping that he could get a down, and in fact he does. X to take out Noob. Second grenade being tossed out. Will that confirm the kill? Yes, it does. There goes one of the players from the side of TA, and this is going to cost very heavily. Meanwhile, Digital Athletics has been eliminated and will secure 12th place, which means that out of 11 teams, this will be a tough one in the fourth phase itself. TA is currently having major issues, especially on the Mushroom Tower. Just gotta be careful, because he will be met with two other teams. One from Team Gobus, which in fact gets dropped down from Needex. Actually, from Just Oza, who just dropped on Needex. So you still have three teams who are still trying to contest the tower. So it's going to be a tough one for TA. And Full Auto is currently the one who is having a field day at this point. They just have to focus on one line of sight. They don't have to worry about their flanks. They don't have to worry about their backs. Just remove one team at a time, and they should be safe on reaching the circle and ensuring that they have the best cover possible. Smokes being tossed out to hopefully revive the teammate from Team Gobus's end, which especially they will do exactly that. No, not a lot of kills being made from this phase just yet, because they have a lot of covers that the teams needs to be careful with. KD, on the other hand, once again, a headshot from the DMR to secure the kill. I mean, it's just a down, not a confirmed kill just yet. But now it's just all down to 9 teams. And phase 4 is almost coming to an end. And this is going to be a tough one for Team Gobus' side now that Full Auto has control on the tower.
This is looking difficult for Team Pro as well. How they're going to perform, how they're going to survive. If I'm not wrong, Pro is one of those teams which went out way too early in the first 4 matches. But in this particular matchup, they're surviving with full manpower in the top 9 teams. That's absolutely interesting. Let's see how far Pro is going to push forward. I would love to see this phase getting the chicken dinner. But yeah, they're getting tagged up. They're getting punched up way too bitter. So how Dubai, how Scorpion, Casper, and Tariq are going to perform is a big question at this point. They're running their way, trying to come up with some covers beyond the boulders, and also come up with some assists for the teammates as well. Casper on the other corner, look at the HP damage that Casper is suffering with. A good headshot was there, and with that, Casper is down to his 25% HP, but eventually he's going to use the first aid kits and the band-aids as well, so that he can just repatch himself and be back in the fight. But Dubai is there. Dubai is there with the car 98. He wants to answers back. He wants to get an answer back to the players of Team Brotherhood. Let's see. Oh, yeah. He goes for the shot, misses it. But on the hindsight, 8 Esports is not missing any shots because they are just punching down the players of Team. Who are they? And that's a big sigh of relief for that particular team. Looking forward to see how 8 is going to perform in this particular matchup as well. And on the hindsight, when we focus on the mini-map, in just 20 seconds, I believe 20-25 seconds, we'll get to see another shift. And the 6th zone marker will come in, and that, my friend, is actually going to be quite risky for these teams to play with.
Yeah, currently there is an aggressive attempt from Team Gobus, I believe, who's just trying to eliminate one of the players from the side of Brotherhood. But turns out Yamin ends up with a nade down as well to take out Casper. Looks like it's going way too well from their end. Meanwhile, as we take a look at Full Auto's end, 2 players already been downed out, so Overlord and Tiska just decided, you know what, it's not worth it going in for the revive. Let's just focus on holding our ground. Meanwhile, we see Elite securing 5 kills from Daddy Young's end with a total of 8 kills. This is going very well from Elite's end, all the way from having 0 kills and having 0 points from match 1, 2, and 3, even maybe from 4. Looks like they are looking very good. The same thing can also be said for Hyvex, who's been consistently securing at least on 2nd or 5th place. 9 teams remain. Team WAT is still alive. So is Team Elite. 1453 is in a bit of a spot of bother. That grenade definitely takes out both. Billy Billy Boom Boom. That is not good from Hyvex's end. They had major control on the situation, and turns out it's not going to happen. Elite is just having a field day of their own. Grenade kills, downing so many players. They are on fire right now. 9 teams remain. Dubai is still trying to engage in a gunfight up against Brotherhood, who is completely surrounded. They have all 4 important line of sights, and turns out it will be M4 from the side of Team Brotherhood, who will down out Dubai and will at least give some breathing grounds to hold their ground. Man, this is going to be tough, but even much more tougher for Hyvex, because they are out in the open, no proper good cover, because they are focusing, they're getting focused on both the sides, one from Esports' end and the other from Elite. And if you take a look at the crossfire angles itself, Hivex is definitely not in a good position. They at least have to be forced to fall back, in which they get caught out from Ryu. They will respond back with the downed Ahlan. He needs to figure out a way to, they need to figure out a way to get out of that positioning. At least use smoke grenades to block lines of sight, get away to safety with using some of the vehicles. There isn't any. Who are they will be eliminated, and they will secure ninth place as well. We are now down to 8 teams in sixth phase, and looks like Team Hivex is in major troubles because they are getting attacked on both sides. They're literally sandwiched from both Elite and Team Pro, and this is going to be so problematic for Hivex if they cannot get out of the situation. 8th place, full auto, they will secure that. And Team Gobus, they are still alive too. So this is do or die moment for these 7 teams in order to put themselves on the top of the leaderboard and also securing the grand finals.
Well, yeah, definitely. In order to reach out to the grand finals, they definitely have to fight for, I guess, 10 more matches. But then again, having the advantage from the first day is actually going to put a lot of pressure onto the other guys. But this moment, there's this kind of dead shot. I'm waiting for it. Oh, he just fails to get the connection right. And on the hindsight, Tariq with the SKS was also quite good. He was able to get the advantage out of it. Some more tap shots are going to come in. Tariq finds another one. So Kabooms has been taken down at this point. Elite wants to just bring back the player. That once again they have the manpower. Hivix Elan on the other corner gets taken down. The other guy at Bomb Billy Bomb Bomb and the other teammate of Team Hivix have already secured their place in the zone. And once again they are looking forward to have the advantage of being the top 5 team. Once they do that, they will become the official consistent team of this particular Zotac Cup. Killing spree is there for Elite as well. Tariq was taken down. 10 amazing kills. Oh, my bad. It's 11 for now. That's interesting. 7 frags for dead Iong X. This was the guy who went out way too early in the first map of Erangel, but right now look at him. The way he's outshining every other guy, that's absolutely impressive. Gobus's Needex has been taken down by the play zone. This is kind of unconventional, but then again the play zone damage is coming in. And the best part of this particular play zone is it's way too open-ended. You do have some covers, and those are the covers of boulders. Gobus's last man standing is also trying to push forward. This could be bad for Yamini. And yeah, he has been spotted. Yamini is actually getting tagged up quite a bit, but the counter attack is also quite impressive from Lemmy's perspective.
Yeah, this point Brotherhood is just looking so confident though. Also, they have to be careful on their backs as well. Cobra, very low on HP, and Eddie Young, he'll just give back the response by downing Scorpion. Long range gunfight too, and my god, that headshot dealing 62 damage will force the M4 from Brotherhood to be in a very safe spot. And looks like he's just going all the way to the offensive. He's out in the open. He's out in the open, and somehow he will secure the down. Meanwhile, we see Hivex still alive after being sandwiched from both the teams. They are somehow alive. Elite is still alive too with 12 kills. All 4 teams, all 4 players are still alive from Elite. Hivex is only left with 2. Brotherhood left with 3 players. And also you still have the last team, the top 4 teams, ATE, who are still currently in a very bad spot. Currently, the only team who has the bad spot is Hivex, and the best spot has to be Brotherhood, because Brotherhood has a very good advantage here. They have lots of covers from trees, which they could at least peek from left and right and put them in a very confused state from the opponent's side, which could cause them major problems. But also, Team Elite has to focus on their backs as well, because they're getting attacked from Team Hivex, who are still alive and still attacking. Elite, on the other hand, they're currently the ones, in the lead with the topmost kills. And all 4 players are still alive. They have their own specific covers too to hold their ground. Now, the biggest problem is going to be the next circle itself once the phase 7 comes to an end. And turns out it's Elite who's facing a lot of problems. Kaboom has been downed out, gets confirmed kill from the Brotherhood's end, M4. And now he just needs to find the 3 players, Cobra, Deadly, and Daddy Young. Daddy Young is currently the one who has the maximum kills. Currently, he has 8, I believe. And Brotherhood needs to figure out a way to eliminate this high kill potential player. Or maybe they could cause a lot of major damage from their end, but he comes up all the way from behind. Also, Unity Esports, it's just back-and-back third play kills that's been happening all the way from behind. And Hivex left with 1 player. I'm pretty sure out of this top four, Elite and Brotherhood are the only two teams who has the advantage in man count. But if you talk about the high ground potential, it's ATE who has the advantage. The same thing can also be said for Hivex, but he's the only player left. It's going to be a tough one.
Indeed, it is. Some more Carnage shots getting connected at this point. Eventually, the connection was not that easy, but 8 Unity Esports is trying their level best to just get the advantage out of it. Elite Esports on the inside was able to take one down from Team Brotherhood, and seems like that brother is going to have a tough time securing some side.
Wow.
And yeah, they have been eliminated at a brief time period, I believe, in a brief time. Everybody has been shut down, but Elite 15 amazing animation. Is this going to be a situation where they're going to break the record of Gobus Esports? Have to look into that as well. But yeah, there we go. 5 kills coming from the other team as well. Oh, 8 Unity is already on a killing spree. It's a 2v3 type of situation coming to the play, I believe. Yes, 27 points is what we are looking at. Yeah, I guess Gobus Esports is actually going to have their tiebreaker in this particular match. Cobra MK12. That's the gun. That's the DMR he's going to use. As a DMR he's going to use to make some good, beautiful connections. Other than that, if we talk about the other guy from Team 8, that's going to be Deep X9. For him to just be in the zone is going to be a tough task. But look at those tap shots being missed. And eventually, yes, the connection was there from Deadly's perspective. Just one or two more bullets. That could be it. And seems like that this is the end. Yeah, there we go. 5 matches out of equation. And we have a new face, I believe. That's Elite. Performing like an elite team. 27 amazing points in their favor because 17 frags and I believe 10 for the placement points. That's absolutely impressive. And elite team did a tremendous job of securing these many points in their favor.
Man, what a way to, yeah, what a way for Team Elite to come back all the way from,
Yep.
losing their 3 matches back to back and now getting a chicken dinner is just absolutely amazing.
Oh, for sure. Indeed. The kind of chaos that was from Elite was absolutely amazing. The way they were able to had the added advantage, and all of a sudden they were able to shut down Brotherhood, and after that they had their sight on Hivex, but Hivex was eliminated by 8. That is the 8 Unity Army Esports, and at the end, the main disadvantage that 8 Unity Esports was suffering was the lower height advantage, and eventually the lower ridge just was unable them to give the upper hand. Eventually, they were unable to just create a rotation, be back in the zone, and that's how the gatekeeping scenario for Team Elite worked out way too well. And also, the start was absolutely amazing for Elite. If you guys remember, DA that was digital digital team. You, I mean, they tried their level best to just approach from the areas of Rozok to the school apartments because they heard some shots in the school apartments while they were just parking their vehicle. All of a sudden, Elite team came out of the equation from the apartments. They were able to shot down 2 players of Team Digital Assistant, and at the end, I guess those were the 2 free kills that Elite got at that point. Eventually, those were the free kills because what happened? They were not even moving. LA team were not even looking forward for the kills, and eventually these 2 players from Team Digital Assistance just came in, swooping their vehicles, had to break over there, and eventually just got shot down at the same exact moment by Team LA team. And with that, I guess the last man standing player was just trying to be a bit more on the far side of the map, tried to survive a bit more, but eventually it was not enough. At the end, I would love to add on that honorable mentions are also there from my side, like Immortals. They tried their level best to compete, but eventually Elite is that team particularly which was able to shut down all the big giants, be it Pacific, be it Immortals, be it Digital Assistants, multiple teams which were outshining the other teams who were getting shot down by Team Elite, full auto, multiple teams to be honest. So yeah, it was absolutely amazing by Elites. After looking at Elite's performance, I would love to say that tomorrow's day might be a bit more fruitful for Team Elite.
Yeah, tomorrow is going to be a big one. So, once again, folks, we'll be taking a short break once again and we'll be right back. Don't worry, folks.
Indeed, after a short break, we are back at Zotac Cup of Unknown's Battlegrounds. Well, 5 matches for the day are done. This was qualifier number 2. That means Group B of the qualifiers stage is already running on. 16 teams are there. Out of these 16 teams, definitely the 8 teams are going to push forward to the grand finals. Which are those 8 teams? Have to look into that as well. But yeah, we have match standings and overall standings to talk about. So definitely have to see what happened today. And before that, I guess we have to take an insight of what happened in the match number 5. That was the map of Erangel. It was a quite a chaotic map. The zone was actually quite open-ended. Bridges were coming into the play, so definitely we had a win-win situation. As a caster, as an audience, we were quite mesmerized by the play, but eventually for players, I guess the tough time was there. So yeah, waiting for the match by standing to come in so that we can talk about that as well. But yeah, there is one thing that is pretty much clear. That is the domination of Elite. So yeah, match standings are here. Let's talk about that. Let's see how many points Elite was able to conquer, gather, and eventually come up with in this particular match number 5. I believe 27 is the score, but let's see what happens in the match standings as well.
Yeah, from if I have to talk about Team Elite, for the past 4 matches that we've casted for today, Team Elite had a very difficult start. They had a lot of, they did ended up, being on 16th place twice or thrice, maybe even not being able to secure a lot of kills. But this time on the final fifth map, they made a spectacular comeback. Team Elite going all the way from 000, points to securing a chicken dinner with a maximum kills. Now that is just out of this world. I mean, I could say the same thing for Team Gobus as well on match number 4, which was on Miramar. I believe it was 17 kills, and they had a total of 27. Now I believe it's the same points. Wow, that is interesting. Coming in from Team Elite, 17 kills, and being in first place, they also have the same points, 27. So it's been equalized both at the same time. Hyvex, on the other hand, they always somehow manage to be in either 4 or second place most of the time. Unity Esports, second place with 10 kills. Brotherhood, who they were having a tough time, they did somehow try to secure third place itself. Hyvex, on the other hand, was the team who were who got caught on both Team Elite and Unity Esports crossfire, but somehow survived and ensured that they would be in top 5. Gobos, on the other hand, they will also be in 5th place, securing 6 kills, and they'll have at least 1 point in their end, so 7 points for them. Digital Athletics with 5 points in total because they did secure 5 kills. 1453 Esports with 1. They did get the placement of 3, so they will be in 4. They'll have 4 points in total. The only two players who hasn't secured a point has to be the 4 terrorists and Team Threats. Other than that, we will see Team Anything with 1 point. 13 Delay, Pacific Esports, who are they, and Team Pro will have 2 points. And of course, last but not the least, we have Immortals and Full Auto with 3. So if you take a look at the top 5 teams that we have from 1 to 4, you could say that Hyvex is still in the top 5 positionings. The same could be said for Unity Esports. The same can be said for Pacific Esports, Team Threats, Immortals, who did secure first and second place, but nowhere to be seen on match number 5. So at this point, elite team being able to secure at least a chicken dinner on 27, I'm pretty sure they won't be in the top 5 standings of the total match that we've had. But let's not forget, we have a total of 15 matches, folks. And now we just only completed 5, which means the next 10 matches that we're going to have, which possibly will be in tomorrow and day after tomorrow, I believe, we'll be able to determine which team will at least secure the B on the top 6 stages, and also having the spot at the grand finals.
Yeah, now let's talk about the overall standings so that we can get a quick recap of what happened today and how many points we have at this moment. Oh, Hyvex, look at that. Despite of not having a single chicken dinner, this team was the consistent one and a total of 53 points. The team with the half century is already here. 30 kills, 23 placement, 53 total points. Hyvex is the tabletop for now. Gobos on the other corner with just one chicken dinner and that 27 points. Bomber, they were able to reach out to that 45 points marker. And Immortals, 44 for them, zero chicken dinners. Digital Athletics, they had no chicken dinners whatsoever. Look at the placement points. That's single digit. That's just 7. This is again quite surprising because they had 36 kills. That's, I believe, the highest. Oh yeah, that's the highest in the 5 matches that any team has secured. 8 Unity on the other corner have secured 40 points. Full Auto, despite of having a chicken dinner, 35 points. Pacific, same goes for them. A chicken dinner, but after that, drastic failures in the next 4 matches. So yeah, 31 points. Elite for them, a 27 pointer bomber came in. But in previous four matches, they had just 3 points. That's the kind of anticipation we are
Yep.
looking at it. But in order to, I guess, let's say, have a jump, Elite has to just secure some more decent points, or maybe just a chicken dinner. They can easily reach out to the top three positions as well tomorrow. But who are they? Stuck at the second page, the elimination space. To be honest, I would like to call it like that, because only the top eight teams are going to move to the grand finals. The rest ones are just going to gain the experience out of it. Who are they is there with 29, Team Threats is there with 28, Brotherhood with 28, and Team Anything with 13 points, 15, 14, 53, the 9, the 4 Terrorists with 8, 13 Delay with 7, Team Pro. Hmm. It's ironic that the name suggests they are pro, but the gameplay does not resembles the team. So yeah, 3 points for
Oh,
them. I would
yikes.
love to see how they're going to give that comeback tomorrow.
Yeah, that's unfortunate though for Team Pro and Team Delay securing 3 and 7 points. Definitely not
Yeah.
going to look well on the first day, but nevertheless, you still have 10 more matches to go, folks. So let's not forget tomorrow we'll be having the same time as well, starting from, I believe, starting from 10:30 p.m. IST. Yes, I just forgot about the timings as well. But yeah, 10:30 IST, same timings, folks. We will resume back the second qualifiers of yeah, all the rest of the 10 matches that we're going to have for Zotac Cup, for the Zotac Cup Players Unknown's Battlegrounds. So, Ritter, anything that you want to say before we end the stream?
Just that you guys, if you guys want to enjoy the RTX 4070's power, you can actually go ahead and get all the details in the description. Make sure to actually like, share, subscribe as well. If you're watching us on our broadcasting partner, that is Loco, make sure to follow. Till then, I am Raider, and along with me, it was Baba Gusta. We are at TAC, going to take a leave for the day, and we'll be back tomorrow at the same time. Bye bye. Peace out.